Secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good. Block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30. This is the dynamic throw. He's in for six. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown. What a block.
Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters. They're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm f***ed off, it's these f***ing clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it.
What is happening, Dolphins fans? Welcome to a special TFTG edition of Hard Knocks in Review. We usually do this a little bit at the start of TMI tonight, which Tonk 7 TMI Tuesdays. That'll get pushed till tomorrow night. So me and the boys who were kind of hanging around watched the show and figured we'd give a little review. I got color commentary here with me. I got Shake, the money maker. Shake.
Okay.
What's going on?
What's up? What's going on?
What's going on?
And Lou, a.k.a. the Rabid Dolphin. What is up, gentlemen?
What up? What up?
So we had a long conversation backstage talking about some stuff. This was not an episode I think Dolphins fans were looking forward to seeing. But, hey, this is part of the journey. This story could be a story told on the way to the Super Bowl, or it could be told on the way to not a Super Bowl. But we're going to watch it in real time. I'm not going to miss an episode because I'm upset about things. I mean, it is what it is. We got a big game coming up. But, I was ready for the bad showing of the team. Really, wanted to see how the dropped passes in the end zone. We didn't get to see the Claypool one. And some other stuff from the offense, the failures, like some of the interceptions maybe. The defense, how, they just had no way to contain, anything about Lamar Jackson in the passing game. It wasn't Lamar running all over him. It was the passing game. It was kind of, I don't know, guys. It was a little bit different of an episode. It had this weird feel to it in the beginning. It was a lot of puff in the beginning, I thought. And it also seemed to have a little bit of a narrative being written in this episode. I don't know. What do you think, Lou?
Let me start with the last word you said with narrative, because that's the first thing I thought of when watching this episode. I was looking again, Kat. Not to relive the moment of Sunday, but there was a lot of things that I feel like this episode, which I haven't felt in none of the other episodes, it did come with like an agenda, right? Like it seemed to me like we've never heard or seen Vic Fangio in no other episode.
None. We get like
tonight.
the back of him saying something to one of the other coaches or something like that. That's
right.
it. We get
So
with that hat.
Exactly. So we get Vic Fangio making an appearance. Then we get Javon Holland and Brandon Jones sitting at a dinner table discussing how easy this defense is now that they haven't. Deshaun Elliott. There's an understanding. They're playing free. And then when the episode gets to the game, I just feel like they left a little bit of the offense out, right? It just made it seem like this was all on the defense. And I know other guys, Shake and Color, want to comment as well. I'll end it with this. I think you hit the nail on the head, Cap, with the word narrative. I definitely think tonight's episode, and I don't know where it's coming from. I'm not trying to place blame on it yet.
I get in some ways, right, that, hey, Hard Knocks is making an entertainment program. They, they want the highs to be high, but they don't want the lows to be low because they want people to stay vested in this story, this tale, right? But they left holes in this story, in this picture. And
Well, win or
noticeable.
lose,
It was
win or
noticeable
lose
that the
so far
holes
this.
were left on the offensive
Yeah,
side.
yeah, win or lose so far this season, that we've won or lost as a team. And in other words, it's been cast in that light. We've saw how the offense was affected by their mistakes in the loss, how the defense was affected by theirs. Same with the wins, but that was strikingly absent tonight, I must say.
You're right. You're right. He's right.
Uh,
It
Man,
was
that's a this is a good word for it right here, Cap. A little damage control. Michael K with the question mark. A little
but
damage
that's
control.
but that's kind of the puzzling part. Damage control for what? For whom? Like what are we
Mm.
doing by leaving holes in the story? Like that's not the tale. The tale had more to it. And I get it. It's a show. It has a limited time structure, but I've been watching every week. Like every Dolphin fan, like a lot of other fans that aren't fans of the Dolphins and just sports fans, in general. The puff piece and the practice time, which has been segments of it the whole time, was odd. It was like puff piecing the defense for their failure in a way. Like, again, Fangio's never up on here. This weird, I don't know, dude. It had some freaking weird undertones in this episode.
And let me ask
So
you
what are you
this.
saying? What are you saying,
So hold
Cap?
on, let me ask you this, guys. If Fangio doesn't stay next year, there's can we is the narrative now going to be like, Mike McDaniel can't build a defensive staff?
Well, now just hold up a second here, Shake. I don't think Fangio is going anywhere.
You know what?
But I certainly saw a narrative kind of throwing him under the bus.
Hot take.
Uh-oh.
If the Jets fire Saleh will be our defensive coordinator next year.
Holy fuck, Lewis. Do you think the Dolphins and people alike, friendships made? I mean, dude, holy fuck, Shake just blew the motherfucking doors off right now,
Do you
bro.
think it could have been waiting for results with the Jets this year? Like, hey, if they go south, then
well, hold up.
we can just throw this guy under the bus and
have certain people been made aware that they feel like their job is in jeopardy and that this may happen? Are they teeing up something else, as Shake has implied? This is interesting. Shake.
Well, I'll tell you this
was
much.
good.
That's a great take, Shake. And I'll just
That's
say
an
that
amazing shake. That's
as
the
far as
Shake
not-
take of the fucking
Yeah,
of
and as
2024. Way to come out swinging in 2024, Shake. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm telling you about it. And as far as tonight goes, tonight's show, I just find it hard. It's hard to understand how we go from 21 points to 28 points to 35 points to 56 points without seeing one offensive play. Like,
what do you think of this?
We got feedback. I don't know which one.
I didn't watch the first half, but they were saying I heard that they were using Lamar to emulate Skylar Thompson to emulate Lamar Jackson.
Yep, we saw that. And you know what was funny? They I took a picture of it and tweeted it. They had Skylar wearing, I don't know where the hell he got this jersey from. I don't know who told him to wear it. It was just it was literally, I don't even know what to say. It was speckled, right? It was just, I mean, I guess it kind of looked cool, but not as a jersey. I don't know. It was just kind of weird in practice. But yeah, they were having him be the Lamar Jackson. Tyreek was like, I should be the Lamar Jackson. It was a fucking, again, I'm cool with the puff piece stuff, right? But here's the question, guys. Next week's episode coming up, right? Are they going to touch on the aftermath of this game? Are they going to, dig in the way they dig into the wins? Or are they going to just speed this right up and get right to a narrative that I know would sell no matter what, is rivalry week, home game, Bills for all the marbles in the AFC East, number 2 in the AFC. Bills, could lose this game, and through a series of unfortunate events, the Bills fans will miss out on the playoffs. Or, they lose in their 6th seed or a 7th seed or whatever may happen to them. Or the Dolphins on the ladder, they would drop all the way to the 6th seed and be locked in against the Chiefs on the road and watch the Bills take away the AFC right from them. That's the narrative. We've been talking about it for 3 weeks. Every week after a game, this, that. We've been talking about this matchup. I mean, dude, the Bills and the Dolphins game got flexed as quick as possible. They just they were trying to build anticipation for it, and everybody and their mother was like, "Yeah, they're flexing that game." They're like, "Yeah, we're flexing it." You know what I'm saying? They usually wait and kind of do. No, they went. It was anyhow. My point is that that's the story they're going to tell. They're not going to tell the missing parts of this story, and the parts that they filled the missing parts in with, gentlemen, was pointing the finger at the defense. Blatantly.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen. I don't think next week's episode you're gonna hear anything else from the Baltimore Raven game. Like, this was it right here. This is cut and dry. This was. It felt like an agenda, right? It felt like, hey, they scored 56 points. Never mind everything else that happened in the game. Let's just make sure we highlight the players that were on the field that gave up that 56 points. Let's highlight the coach that was responsible of giving up those 56 points. Nothing in between, right? Not an interception to Cap's point, not a drop pass from Claypool. We'll leave all that stuff out. And let me pose this question at you, because this is where I think you can come out and say there was an obvious agenda. Because the fact of the matter is, before Hard Knocks, and this is just my understanding, before a Hard Knocks episode comes out, the Dolphins media team, and I don't know if it's coaches, players, I don't know if those have input, but the Dolphins kind of control.
They have a brand to protect.
Right. They
HBO is only slightly purviewed in partnering with the NFL a la the Dolphins in this scenario. Continue, Lou. Sorry to cut you off.
But let's say Hard Knocks, because I'm sure they're in the building and they capture all kind of stuff. But don't the Dolphins have like veto power to say we want this in or we don't want this in?
Yes, they do, and that's the thing, Lewis. What would they be vetoing if all we saw was everything about the defense tonight? What would they be vetoing? They'd be vetoing dissent on the offense. Any kind of dissent on that sideline last week would have been vetoed. Any kind of dissent afterwards in the locker room would have been vetoed.
And why would that be, though?
But why?
Yeah, why?
I mean, like the reality, like
19 points. I don't know.
I don't think
some
that
about all the stuff that happened in between 28 points and 56 in the Hard Knocks episode. Some between the Steelers fumble recovery and 56 points. Like, what happened all in between there?
All right, let's calm down a little bit. That's
fucking hilarious. Color goes, I don't know, something between 28 and 56 points. What the fuck happened?
I get it.
There has to be
that shit was
people out
fucking
there that are not
hilarious,
even
bro.
Dolphins fans watching that show going, wait a minute, what happened in between them?
You know what they filled all that time in with? All that bullshit in the beginning when they're sitting on the benches talking nonsense. It was a lot of bullshit filler in the beginning because they knew that they were taking stuff out of the end. It wasn't the same as the other episodes. Give me the bad. I want to see the perseverance next week in the next Hard Knocks.
Show like a whole
What the
bunch
fuck's
of time.
going on?
The interception happened on the very next play. It's not like they had to wait very long.
Yeah, dude. It was weird. It was funny, though. Cutler, that was fucking hilarious. That fucking made me die laughing. He goes, I don't know, something that might have happened between
Like me,
28
if I was
to
Liv Schreiber,
52.
if I was Liv Schreiber, it would have been something like the Miami Dolphins really need to get a punt, force Lamar into a punt here. Could be the key to a ball game. And then like we did, and then like what happened after that? Oh, that's right, we punted right back to them. By the way, excellent job, Liv Schreiber. How does this guy sound like the NFL Films guy, bro?
Oh man, I mean that's a skill set
Like that's
motherfuckers be
crazy.
trying to get. You get that fucking NFL Films deal. I mean,
He's got it, bro. I never
just-
realized it was Liv Schreiber's a fairly young actor, bro. It's not like he's a, you know.
Well. Let me pose this question, right, to you
please,
guys. And
please.
if you are a defensive player, or to better this argument or debate or this question, right? If you're a guy like Vic Fangio in his stature, and you watch tonight's episode, are you kind of happy? Do you have a sense of feeling? Are you feeling like what we're feeling as fans? Like there was an agenda pushed, right? If you're one of those players in the locker room or Vic Fangio, do you feel kind of like scapegoated a little bit? Because again, the narrative in the community, right, is it was a complete total team loss. But
Yeah, that's the thing. Like no one's
Hard Knocks,
blaming the offense. No one's blaming the defense. No one's blaming any one person.
Exactly. Hard
We have
Knocks is
blame to
saying
go around for
look,
everybody,
exactly.
and that's what we wanted to see.
We were all
That's not what we saw.
united with a team loss until Hard Knocks had to go put their two
well,
cents.
exactly. That's I think colored that's exactly right. Right, like everybody paints the picture in the media and our fan base, right, that it was a complete team loss. But the narrative that the Dolphins just put out on Hard Knocks was it was a special teams defensive loss, right? Nothing really with the offense, right? So from that perspective, if you're a defensive player or a Vic Fangio, are you kind of looking sideways a little bit? Like,
You know what else they did too? They teed up the injuries as well. Granted, listen, these are bad injuries. Let's call it for what it is, right? You know, Chubb lost for the year. Horrific. Terrible, bro. I don't know if you guys went back and watched the live of that. You can hear him screaming. It's freaking brutal, bro.
yeah,
Like
it's nasty.
I made a video of it talking about stuff, and right after I did that short, I was like, I wasn't feeling it at all because you could hear him screaming, bro. It was bad. But you know, they coined, you know, like even talking about Tua's thumb injury and stuff, like they really harped, and then Dolphins been one of the most injured teams of the year. And I'm not saying these things are wrong. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying there aren't narratives they gotta say or phrase, but when you say and phrase all these things and then show me what didn't happen and left certain holes out while filling it with, like I said, an agenda, it was to blame the defense. It was very clear in that manner. And I'm not saying, I just don't understand why. Why'd they do that? Or is it to protect McDaniel, the character? Is it to protect, you know, Tua? Is it some vetted interest that the numbers show that people who are watching McDaniel and Tua, and that's why they want to protect him? The Dolphins had the, you know, final say on this. I'm sure they have their fingerprints all up and down every video, not just this one. But it's just weird, you know? Who's so fucking sensitive? Who's in they motherfucking feelings in the Dolphins network controlling this shit? Or at HBO? I'm calling them all out. Fuck it. Who's in their feelings? We're big boys and girls here in the Dolphins community. We know what happened. We're ready to move on. But not when you start lying to me. I've dealt with enough of this lying to me by this fucking franchise, by this fan base, by all this shit. Let's crack this bitch open, boys. Fuck them. I'm tired. Who's hiding what and why? Why? Who are you protecting? Who's so sensitive? Who's in their feelings?
Um,
Tell me,
man.
Lou. Who? Why? What are we talking about?
Man, I mean, let, man, listen. I don't want to put it all on Tua, right? But it could they be protecting him again, right? Could they try to control the narrative again? Because again, I just don't like. Don't lie to me, Cap. I think you hit it over the head. Don't lie to me.
Yeah,
And we
white
all
line.
watched the game on Sunday. We all seen what happened. And it just felt like today's episode, they left out 50% of what happened. They got out what they wanted, right? The agenda, the narrative. Oh, the defense let us down. The defense didn't show up. And that is
Well,
true.
you heard Sealer
But
say it. You heard Sealer say it to Wilkins. I'm not going to get cranky. I'm not going to, we got
That's
to
a
keep
color
playing.
perfect example of the weird shit they put in.
Yeah. Who's getting crankier than the Sealer?
I promise you, Tyreek Hill was immensely cranky. And they did show him at the end of the game, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, I can't believe it. But, come on. It's just weird, bro. Are we reading into this too much? J.R. Black thinks so. He says it's tinfoil cap time.
You should actually coat one of your caps in tinfoil.
No.
And come out in a tinfoil cap.
Nope. Somebody buy me a nice one and send it to the show. Go to tftgnetwork.com. I'll wear your cool-ass tinfoil hat if you buy one.
Well, and again, this is I actually enjoy J.R. Black. I think he has some good takes, and that's the homie. So I don't want him to take.
I
this
like
the
J.R.
wrong way.
Black. He gets down. He's down to
I do
clown.
too.
That's why I like him.
Absolutely, I agree. So J.R. Black, I hope you don't. I don't want you to think I'm taking a shot at you. But when you say whatever, like the leap over the moon, like I'm from your perspective, J.R. Black, and you can put it in the chat. When you watched that game, did you leave, or when you watched Hard Knocks, did you leave there saying they told you the whole story? Or did it seem to you that, again, there was an agenda pushed out? Because J.R. Black has been one of the ones, and I agree with, right? It's a team loss.
I would say J.R. Black is as much in the community as anybody else. A lot of these people in chat are involved in this community. When I say this community, I mean the online community and its many webs spreading from all different platforms that interact with each other. And we all got this stuff going on. We see these narratives, we see the BS, but there's like this understanding of the community. We all know what happened in that game. We all painlessly watched all of it. I went back and watched the film. I was going to make a film break. I just couldn't do it. But I wanted to see on Hard Knocks the truth, and that's not what they gave us.
And the only reason I would say this, right, is because it's funny to me. Going into the game, everybody knew this was two MVP quarterbacks battling it out, right? Like, remember a couple of episodes ago when we played the Jets on Black Friday? They didn't have a problem showing Tua's interceptions there.
They didn't have a problem showing the Jets highlights of Javon Holland from the Black Friday, too. Right. In that episode right then, they did that.
Well, I was just coming from a Tua's perspective, though, right?
I got you.
Like they didn't have a problem showing the interceptions against the Jets, right? Because, it is what it is.
It was overcame, right?
It was overcame. But
nothing ever happened with those interceptions.
I wanted to just answer that real quick. JR says I think of agenda. However, I feel the whole team wet the bed, family. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to say, JR.
Yeah.
We all agree with that, and now they're out.
Story.
We're trying to show you that they're still trying to gaslight you, even though you believe the defense is culpable. You're not putting it all on the defense. Well, they're trying to make even you put it all on the defense. So they're
coming out and just saying the quiet part out loud. Bro. Tyrone says, "Bro, they cut off Tua's interceptions." That's what they did, and we're just
absolutely.
Luke, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the reason they're taking away JR's fairness, because JR has been fair in saying, yeah, it's not all on the defense. pointing
Motherfuckers
out
is
the
telling you how to
defensive
think,
problems.
JR.
They're gaslighting people like him too. They're gaslighting all of us.
They tried to
And
gaslight
why?
us, Color. That's what happened.
And why do you think that is, though? Because again,
I
this
don't
is the
know
point I'm trying.
why.
But
Why are
I'm
they doing this?
but I'm gonna get to it, right? This is the point I'm trying to make. See, against the Jets, we overcame, but it didn't really matter because you're playing Tim Boyle on Black Friday, right? So it don't really matter. But to protect, and again, it just we're gonna call it how we see it, right? To protect Tua Tagovailoa in a matchup where it was Tua versus Lamar, right? The narrative was you got two guys battling it out for MVP. Well, one guy showed
If
up,
Tua
one
would have
guy
won
didn't.
that game, that would have been the front page.
All
of
you would have
everything.
seen.
And all you would have seen on Hard Knocks, Tua MVP now.
Exactly. So now they don't show it because, again, he didn't show up, right? And so now they don't want to put a Hard Knocks, all this praise, oh, Lamar, 5 touchdowns or whatever, and Tua, 2 interceptions, not really showing up. They can't have that narrative. So I'm
damn.
just, am I wrong though, Cap? Like,
bro,
am
that
I
ain't
wrong?
no bullshit. Here's the MVP 5 tutties game. They didn't say they didn't show the second team score on us either. I'll say that. But damn, you're right. You can't have this bright shining star dull the other star you're shining.
Listen, Hooked Up Joe, listen, Hard Knocks doesn't want to piss off teams. If they do, teams won't. Teams don't have no choice. Hard Knocks tells them you're going to be on there. Period. And they don't have I don't want this to go absolutely. Well, somebody's going to be on it.
Well, I don't think so. I think the team has to agree, bro, because the Patriots don't ever get on it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but
then again, the
they've been
Patriots
winning.
had those. They had those closed circuit freaking. Like I've seen their bullshit that they've had on there. You know what I'm saying? They had their own stuff where they do, but I'm pretty sure teams have to agree with it.
Okay, you're gonna have to agree, but I guarantee you, if you don't, they force you to agree. Oh, like stop. You think, and the reason, remember, to be on Hard Knocks, one of the criteria is you got to be like a losing team, right? To get on the one before the season. That's like a requirement. That's why the Patriots have never been on there. They were always winning. I bet you the Patriots come on there real soon. I'm just saying.
I bet you they get on there real soon with their losing asses.
With their losing asses. I bet you there'll be a candidate next year.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, fucking right. They draft the quarterback. Patriots, new rookie quarterback, looks to turn it around with new head mind coach. It's a whole fucking thing. You know that shit's coming. I'll be watching that shit show.
And listen, at the end of the day, whatever it is, the Hard Knocks episode today, there was an agenda in place. And I'm going to just come out flat out and say it. And I didn't want to, but I will. If I was a defensive player in this locker room, or the DC for that matter, if I'm Vic Fangio and I watch tonight's episode, I'm showing up at what time does McDaniel get there? At 3:30? I'm going to be there at 3:15. Because we're going to have a little conversation. Because what was painted out today on Hard Knocks was you threw me under the bus. Again, I know I coached bad. Or if I'm a player, I know I didn't perform well. But neither did you, coach. Because you're the offensive coordinator. And you didn't call a good game. Your players didn't execute. And basically, all that shit got left out on Hard Knocks. But everything that we gave up, the 56 points, they were highlighted. I'm telling you right now, Cap, I feel a certain way if I'm a defensive player on this team.
I guess you kind of gotta, equal distribution of blame when the team blames all the way around. I don't know if I'm a player, but listen, the players have all said they watch. Every single player watches. They all said it. Vander Van Ginkel in that one episode was turning on Hard Knocks, and his little baby kid got all excited to see his dad. That is proof. Kids ain't lying, and it was a beautiful moment, might I add. Players are definitely watching. You know what's crazy, though? I think this confirms it, that the Dolphins we knew the Dolphins were watching, but HBO is a fan of the program. Want me to tell you why? Because they must have heard the show about, Tua and Mike McDaniel. They must have voted in that poll, and they didn't like that conversation. They threw the wild card Fangio in there, and they want to let the dogs go attack them. There was just a mild conversation of if things fell apart, would it be McDaniel's head on the chopping block, or Tua? Just a BS hypothetical. Let's call it for what it is. But what ends up happening? They toss Fangio's head on the chopping block. Think Fangio's
I don't know.
Fangio's feeling some kind of way.
I do. Listen. Again, Fangio and any defensive player, I know we didn't play well. That's fine. But again, where are the interceptions? Because Tua didn't play well. Where is the drop? Oh, well, the drop from Claypool, because we've seen the one for Tyreek. But where's the Claypool drop that Tua threw an absolute dime? They could have highlighted that throw in the double cover. They didn't even do that. Like,
they didn't show the Ravens' defense giving the offense a hard time, which at any capacity.
Right.
You feel me? They
absolutely.
They did not. And the Ravens' defense, if this was the Ravens' Hard Knocks, I promise you the tale told tonight is completely different. Not just because it's from the victor's eyes, but where they had victory in.
And today, I lost my job as a bus driver. Karma is bullshit.
All right. Shake is watching videos. He's obviously researching on how... He's obviously researching the scenarios in which Saleh takes Fangio's job, because that is the only reason I can put on this. Because other than that, Dolphins fans who are in the majority of who's watching Hard Knocks all have to be looking at that and go, what the fuck? Like,
let me ask you this, Cap.
That didn't what happened.
Do you believe this right here, Cap? And again, this is no shot at Hooked Up Joe. I just asking the question. McDaniel had no input on the show. The narrative, obviously, he isn't involved in any way at that level. Do you believe that?
I wholeheartedly believe Mike McDaniel is not wasting his time doing that. But I also wholeheartedly believe Mike McDaniel isn't wasting his time doing that because he wholeheartedly knows that there's people there that have a job to do that.
The person that is delegated to do that probably is a one-to-one doppelganger of Mike McDaniel's thought processes. And somebody he trusts. So yeah, it's virtually the same thing.
Listen, I don't even think so, because Mike McDaniel, to me, probably would not be opposed to showing
it's
more
like
of
somebody
the truth.
getting to write their Twitter
as
for
a
them,
guy,
bro.
As a
it's
guy,
like somebody getting it's like somebody writing somebody's Twitter for them, bro.
I got you, but I think
whoever
that
that
lines
is
that if Mike McDaniel,
they're writing for,
if Mike McDaniel had someone writing it for him, I would say that he would be more adept to actually giving more of the truth and the failures in the office, because he's the kind of guy that doesn't point the finger of blame. From what I can see, he's the kind of guy that puts blame on himself and talks about adversity and wanting to get better. So I don't think he has a fingerprint on that. I think there's something else, some other whole agenda.
Well, I don't. See, this is where I think for me, I'm going to disagree. Okay. Because, when Mike McDaniel sits in front of the podium, right, he's obligated to be there. He's going to tell you what you want to hear. But no one knows what goes on in that building. I'm sure Mike McDaniel, to Hooked Up Joe's point, I'm sure Mike McDaniel didn't physically go up to Hard Knocks or HBO producers or whatever and say, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this out. But I'm sure Mike McDaniel talked to somebody in that building to say, I want this, this, and this out. You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, nobody, all of us work, right? Nobody wants to go to their job or watch their performance and hear that they absolutely sucked. And when Mike McDaniel got the job here, he was brought here for one reason and one reason only, to fix the offense and to fix Tua. Well, the offense, just like the defense, did not show up. Neither did the offense. So to protect my ass and my investment, which I am the guy that calls the plays, I'm the one that's supposed to have this team offensively ready to go. My unit didn't perform. I'm going to cut that out. But guess whose other unit didn't perform? Vic Fangio. A guy we haven't seen. This is the 7th episode of Hard Knocks. We haven't seen Vic Fangio once. all of a sudden the defense gives up 56 and you're highlighting Vic Fangio? Nah, bro. Come on, man. Like, again, I'm not saying Mike McDaniel. It's kind of like what Belichick said, right? Belichick didn't know, or he didn't tell somebody to get the balls deflated or whatever. But you don't think Belichick knew something about it? You don't think someone ran that by Belichick in the building? So, no, Mike McDaniel probably didn't go up to a producer and say, hey, sit down here with me in the office and let me edit this myself. But I'm sure, to Color's point, one of the buddies or one of the close guys to McDaniel, I guarantee you McDaniel got in his ear, though. I'm willing to bet my house on that.
Or just is like-minded and already knows what McDaniel would want to do. You know what I mean?
Listen, at the end of the day, I just think when you're the head guy of something, right, and whether it's a player or a guy like Vic Fangio or whatever, the guy that we really gave the keys to this whole thing is Mike McDaniel. That's all I know.
Doug.
I think Mike McDaniel dips his hand into everything. He has a pulse of everything that goes on this team, in the building, what gets in, what gets out. I think he has a good pulse of that. And I think Mike McDaniel had his hand in the cookie jar in this episode. I'm not going to lie to you. I really do.
Wow. That is I don't know. I don't think so, Lou. Again, I got to think that, yeah, he's probably super involved with a lot of stuff. But how can he be this involved with so many things all the time and then also, have no involvement really with the defensive plan? And also, isn't Fangio a Mike McDaniel, handpick? Isn't that, I know it's Chris Greer's hire, obviously, but isn't that co-signed by Mike McDaniel? Isn't that the facts of it? I don't know. It's crazy. I just wonder, Dolphins fans watching, right? We know what really happened. Why are they lying? And the only time I've seen this organization lie to me was during that entire year, the last year of Brian Flores being the head coach. That from game 4 to the end of the season, all the way until they hired Mike McDaniel, only then did they start becoming truthful. But that last time they started lying like that, I'm not saying that that's the slippery slope we're on. It's just a weird thing when I'm watching these episodes, episode in, episode out. And this is the type of shit I catch on this one. I just didn't expect it. What do you think, Color?
Well, Aqua makes a good point. Every bit of this goes away if we freaking take care of business Sunday night. I mean, it seems like planting the seed, because look, we don't know at this point. I don't think anybody knows, what our chances are Sunday night as far as up in the upper tiers of the organization. And this does seem like it's getting out in front of something, and they've already made their decision as to who they're gonna who they're gonna back up if the whole thing goes to hell in a handbasket.
But right again, this is where I get confused, and it's not with Esther's comment, right? And because I get it. Listen, I don't know what the body language is, and I'm not going to read into that. What I don't like. And again, no shot at the person writing the comment, but this right here. The Dolphins are not going to allow the narrative to be how much Lamar outshined Tua. Well, how can you hide it? Because all of us already seen it. You see what I'm saying? What do you mean they're not going to allow the narrative? Did you watch the game?
Because the upper parts of our organization are a pure bureaucracy that literally thinks they can tell us what reality is, dude, if they just speak it enough.
Damn.
But again, how does that work? The Dolphins are not going to show that the Lamar outshined.
Well, I could explain how it works in real life, but it would probably get our channel shut down. So I'd have to talk to you about that backstage. But yeah, I don't mean to be flippant, but that's the reality.
Give the
but
PG
again,
version color.
everybody's seen the game though. We seen Lamar. It just don't make sense to me how you write that. They're not gonna create the narrative or allow the narrative.
Too, and I'm sure what I am. And that's all I'll say about it. But that don't mean that's what we are.
Look, the color's talking about on 4D levels right now. I know where you're going with it, but
well, I mean, I can't go much further than that because
No,
we
you
will
can't.
get shut down. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing, right? That wasn't the fucking narrative after the game. They're hiding something to protect from the narrative, like you just said, Hooked Up Joe, and it's no shot, but you're making great points because these are the reasonings that could be, but no one was saying, look how much Tua got outshined by Lamar. No one said that. No one was even talking or acting like that. Lamar played great. Tua didn't play. He wasn't the worst. I mean, yeah, okay, it might have been statistically his worst QBR, but I didn't feel like he lost us the game either. You know what I'm saying? I get it. He had his part like everybody else on the team. Defense not making stops. Big plays led up on the special teams. And, not moving the ball on offense and some turnovers. It was a total team collapse. So why are they hiding one of the reasons why? No one was talking about Lamar better than Tua. And the fact that they're hiding it makes me fucking go, what the fuck is going on?
And that's what's the eyebrow raising. Again, that's for me what's eyebrow raising.
Oh, my God. I can't believe EM fucking did it. I can't. EM, just so you know, I brought my shovel in case I needed to bury somebody, and I was thinking of you when I went and got it. Do not make Lou and I have to bury you right here live. Let's continue the point, because we might come back to burying him, Lou.
Oh, shit.
We might come back to burying his ass.
Hey, are you all seeing Mike Catania in chat?
Mike.
Diego answered Mike Catania, but I don't see Mike Catania in the chat. I want to make sure I don't have him accidentally blocked or something.
I don't see anybody in chat.
All right, let me
Mike
check the
Catania.
list because if he's let us know if y'all see Mike Catania in the chat because I don't see him. It might that might have been for another chat.
Mike.
Diego might be multi-chatting or something, maybe.
All right. Anywho.
Oh.
Hit the like button, everybody.
Well, anyway, Diego, if you are chatting to Mike Catania in another chat, tell him I said hi. Oh, there he is. Look, there he is. All right. What's
there
up?
he is. Present and attended. You know what? We're doing roll call. No, let's not. Anyhow, KP, what was your... Are we wrong in our assessment now of this Hard Knocks episode and just what is going on?
Well,
I mean, listen, we're playing hard into it too, but it was weird, right?
I haven't. To be honest, I haven't watched it yet. I'm about to charge it up now. But the only reason I came on is I heard you guys discussing the potential editorial involvement of the Dolphins, and yes, I think it's. I just posted a link in the chat. Sorry, in the chat. Apparently, the teams do have some editorial access to what goes out to the public. And so I'm sure Dolphins PR is definitely in on it. And we'll, for the sake of team energy, team momentum, right? Make certain decisions to try to, keep the team morale up, So yeah, it is a narrative fully controlled, or at least semi-controlled, by the team. So, so check that link out.
Send it in private chat, KP, if you can. I would like to check that out. Absolutely.
Yeah,
and I think so.
Yeah,
but in that same aspect, right? Doesn't Fangio have a say if Mike McDaniel does? Vic Fangio, isn't he like the highest paid DC in the NFL
Nah,
right now?
again, that's the narrative that people want you to believe. I don't give two flying fucks, Cap. I'm sorry for the language.
No, go right
Vic
ahead, sir. We're past the point of
We're
no
late
return.
night, man.
Let's
It's
go
late
ahead.
night.
We don't give a fuck
I
right now,
don't-
bro.
I don't give two flying fucks what Vic Fangio makes. The keys to the franchise are in the hands of Mike McDaniel. Period. Vic
Not Chris
Fangio
Greer?
don't run. No, hell no, it's not Chris Greer. I said that when it was Brian Flores. That was what my main argument with Brian Flores was when people told me, well, you can't let Brian Flores have control. Well, why not? Didn't you hire him? You hired him with the idea of this guy is going to lead my franchise, right?
I guess
That's
the
who-
best
that-
ones do. If you want to be real, you want an
that-
Andy Reid, you want a
that's
Bill
what it is.
Belichick. Yeah,
you want a
I
Mike
guess
Tomlin,
that-
right?
It's really what you want, you know.
The end all be all is with Mike Tomlin. The
Yeah.
end all be all is with Andy Reid. The end all be all is with Belichick, right?
Guess
The
what?
end all be all here.
Shula was the end
Shula.
all be all. Let's
He's
call
the
it
end
for
all
what it
be
is,
all.
dog. True.
And Mike McDaniel is the end all be all. Period. There's 32 quarterbacks. Tua is lucky enough or talented enough to be one of those guys. There's only 32 coaches in the league. Mike McDaniel is the one they handed the keys over to. They didn't call Vic Fangio and say, hey, we want you to be the head coach. They didn't call up Sam Madison. They didn't call anybody else. It was Mike McDaniel. Nah, bro. Stop trying to feed me this bullshit. Again, I'm tired of the narratives. I'm tired of what we want to believe. The writing is on the wall. The proof is in the pudding. You all see it. That's why I went so crazy on that comment. Oh, they don't want to allow the narrative. Did you watch the fucking game? They don't have to allow shit. If your eyes were on the game on Sunday, you seen Lamar Jackson outplay Tua. They're not allowing shit. This was a cover-up. This was a setup.
It was a cover-up.
This was hey, again, Cap, it was a setup. It was a cover-up, right? And I can get down with that. But don't sit here and try to paint a picture. Well, they couldn't allow this. What do you mean? I didn't need Hard Knocks to realize what the fuck I already knew. We got our ass whooped on Sunday.
They're trying to
Special
fucking
teams,
Mandela effect us right now,
There you
Lou.
go.
They're
There you
trying
go.
to fucking Mandela affect us by gaslighting us, and then they're covering some shit up as if what, to prepare for something? Do y'all know something on the script? Does the NFL script say the Dolphins finna shit the bed? What's going on right now? What do they know? Why are you lying to me? It's just like when someone comes talking to you, right, and they start lying right as soon as you talk to them. You're like, what the fuck's this motherfucker's angle? Why are you coming up and lying to me right now? I don't get it. Trying to con us.
Listen,
They're
it
trying to
is
con
what
us.
it is. I'm not going to say nothing because people, again, it's cool.
I get it. We out here in our tinfoil caps.
Hard Knocks is just for entertainment, like Hooked Up Joe said. It's just for entertainment, and there's no reason I should be calling it out or blowing it up, I guess. I'm not even blowing it up. I'm just, again, sorry for the language, but I'm just not going to get clucked anymore. Sorry. I'm going to come out and tell you how I feel, whether people like it or not. Just like everybody has their opinions of this team. Well, Mike McDaniel couldn't have did it because he's such a nice guy. And no, there was an agenda because it's an entertainment. That's cool. If that's a way people want to be and believe, I ain't got no problem with it. But don't sit up here and tell me that I'm an idiot for the way I feel, because that's what I seen. That's what I just seen. And then if everybody else wants to be in denial and say they didn't see that, cool. I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to argue. But don't tell me I'm wrong.
Just don't lie to me, dog. Why you lying? Just like this Bills fan up here saying something about over 400 days since the Dolphins beat an AFC team. Bills fucking fans can't count to 400. Why you lying? Don't lie to me.
I
Give
mean,
me
as
the
a fan,
brutal reality
am I not
of
entitled
things.
to see the reaction to adversity of my offense just as well as the defense's reaction to adversity? Why hide all that?
Look at this. He's asking for me to bury him. Why you lying to me, Bills fan? Why you lying to me, HBO? Why you signing, co-signing, whether it's McDaniel, throwing Fangio under the bus? Why you lying to me? Why you lying to the people, EM? Why you lying to the people, EM Dolphin fan? Can you believe this shit, Lou? Why is he lying to people?
Hey, man. Hey, listen. If he and look at him, he just said, "Yeah, I am. Please attempt to bury me." If I was you, Cap, I would drop the link, Cap. I would
Listen. First of all, the burying will commence long before he gets the link. Okay, because there's just no point. That he's already a dead man walking. There ain't no point. We gonna get zombie EM Dolphin when he gets the link, because that's the only way he gonna be able to show up. He's rotten. My point here is there seemed to be an attempt or a slight execution to either pivot narratives, try to lie in some facet. And the only things we can deduce from the reasonings for Hard Knocks and or the Dolphins or both or whatever the fucking case may be, because that's what just happened. There was some weird shit going on in that last episode. I get that it was a loss, but we've had losses in the episodes before. Wasn't that? Was it? That Tennessee Hard Knocks wasn't like that. It was different. And the things that they hid out of there show a propensity. That's some of the shit that's happened before, whether it's to cover up and hide and protect Tua, which is what they've done in the past. Let's call it for what it is. Or to protect McDaniel, or protect this and throw defense under the bus, to control the narrative, for lack of a better term. And it comes in a way of the most, that's used by, oddly enough, by the most intellectual of us and the dumbest of us. Everybody else in the middle can kind of see it and be like, why do you care so much? That's not true. But then you kind of just got to fucking deal with it in some weird degree. You got to just kind of play into their delusion until they kind of see their way through that they've been getting cucked this whole time. Now, we're not saying...
Cap, I'm not asking to show the offense to shit on Tua. This is not a Tua thing for me.
It's how you end up a Bills fan, Lou.
I wanted to see the reaction of our offense to adversity, no different than we got to see the reaction of our defense.
Not only that, but see, when people think I'm talking about Tua, I want to see the frustration on McDaniel's face, right? I asked to see the Claypool, which Tua threw an absolute
it shows
dog.
us they care. It shows us they care.
I wanted to see, yes. Remember when he dropped the ball, Claypool in the end zone, and he slammed the ball on the ground? Show me that. Show me the frustration from an offensive player that's not getting the job done. It's not a Tua thing on offense. I want to see when the offense is struck. I've seen McDaniel in his Ray-Bans, right? When we're running up the score, scoring 70 points against Denver. I've seen Mike McDaniel when we're beating the Jets 30-0. I want to see McDaniel against a big-time team, right? When shit is hitting the fan, show me that McDaniel. It's not about Tua. But this episode right here, they ignored the offense, right, in the struggles to shit on the defense at every chance they got.
I want to see the real moments of Tua and Mike McDaniel. Not take it hard, but I want to see how they react, right? We're seeing that on the other aspects. Why are they not showing the adversity? It was a cover-up, and it's fugazi in a way. It's just a weird dynamic that happened in this episode. And, I don't know why people are faking. What's the fake for? We know what people are, and we know how they get down. You guys have come to know us for a few years now. We've been pretty consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what our deal is. Other guys in the community too, but they be faking. Like EM Dolphin be faking sometimes. EM Dolphin be faking, Lou. And
Hey, man.
I mean,
Hey,
CB83 big time fake all the time, so I expect nothing from him. But as two of the biggest, and I know EM loves to say he's an objective guy, and I love him for it. I do. But he doesn't even believe Tua has the best ability to be the best thing on this team. Like he doesn't even have him in top 10 quarterback rankings. Lou, I mean, he's got him in like the bottom of top 10 in quarterback rankings.
Shit.
He does. He said so. We heard this, and I was shocked.
Shit.
And he's not even. He thinks like Tua's bottom half of the top 10 on the team as most important, as best player on the team. I couldn't believe what I was hearing on the phone. I'm like, EM's burying himself, Lou. I said, see, Lou, we talked long enough, and here he is. And CB83 was like, yeah, CB83 was in the back waving his pom-poms, just agreeing with what everything EM says, not knowing that he realized he just done walked. He done walked into the grave with EM, and they're just burying themselves. And me and Lou are like, are you fucking kidding me? And Lou, what did I ask you? When I said, hey, who is the leader, the best guy on this team with the best chance to give us to win every Sunday? Who is that?
That would be Tua.
That's what I said.
That's
what I said, bro. I couldn't believe they're like, oh man, what did he? I know he rattled off like Tyreek, Jalen, a couple other guys on there. Christian Wilkins, I thought he might said or something. He
didn't say Skyler, did he? He didn't say Skyler, did he?
He didn't say Skyler.
Wow.
No, he didn't say Skyler.
Oh, that was close, man.
But I mean, he had a lot, and I was like, he was rattling them off, and I'm like, well, wait a second here, EM. What about Tua? Where you got him? And he just kind of just threw him in there with all the other guys. When I was under the impression that this is his team. He's the leader. He's the guy.
Oh shit! He's calling Cap. He's saying
I'm trying to pull up my Twitter right now. I'm gonna send it to him.
He's saying that's Cap. Oh shit!
Man. Lou,
Man.
you were a fucking witness, Lou. As anything I said here a lie? Am I wrong on any of these takes? Am I just talking out of my ass right now, Lou? You were there.
Listen, when we both asked the question on a phone call, who was the best Dolphin? Tua's name did not come out as number one. I could just say that.
not until you and I were like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He was so far down the list. I can't even believe he didn't say Tua. I'm gonna text it to you. I couldn't believe it, and we were like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Right? We were like, "Yo." I said, you see how they really come out, Lou? Here's CB83. E, give me an M. He's all with his cheerleading pom-poms in the back. It was a whole thing. It was insane, bro. I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, damn. Hey, man, I was just trying to talk about Hard Knocks. I was just trying to talk about Hard Knocks.
We were talking about all this. We were talking about all this faking, all this gaslighting, all this other nonsense that I'm just feeling perpetrated on, and here in a profound personal phone call that I was just calling EM back. I gotta find this happening. It's a lot to take in after a Dolphins loss. It's a lot to take in. It's God dang, this is just crazy. EM, welcome.
Gentlemen, look. Is that how we doing it, Cap?
I told you I brought my shovel.
Oh,
Cap,
shit.
Cap, is that how we doing it, bro?
I tried to dissuade them, EM.
Hey, Color, is this how it is a dirty game out here in these YouTube streets. Oh my God. Color. Cap is Cap is one dirty son of a bitch.
It wasn't always me, bro. I told you.
Hey,
he's back the whole time, man.
Hey, he's a dirty one, and Lewis is no different. He's following right behind him, but that's fine.
What did I say? I didn't say anything.
You sit up here agreeing with Cap's foolishness. I can't believe Cap. It's a
Cat,
dirty
can you do me
game.
one more favor? Can you do me a favor, Cat, please, before we get this thing really started? Can you show me the
Sure.
shovel one more time?
One more time, I got it.
Can you show me that murder weapon
Hey.
real quick? Hey,
It's
that
right
murder
here, dog.
weapon
You know,
is real.
I mean, listen, it's
I
got a
hear
couple
you.
of dents in it
I-
from some of the other skulls along the way, but this
You-
thing, it's been through some times, man.
You
I'm happy
pulling out a
Ian got
shovel
to
to
fully meet it.
dig your own goddamn grave. Hey man,
My own grave.
salute
You
to
were
you.
doggy paddling. You were
Damn.
doggy paddling such a big hole. You turn around. I turn around. I'm looking down, and there you and CB are just. He's cheering you on the whole time. You over here talking about how everybody on the whole goddamn team is better than Tua. That's what he
Cap.
said, Lou.
Hey Cap, I'm gonna
Everybody
do.
on the whole fucking team.
I-
He was rattling fucking players off.
Shit.
Blip, blip, motherfucker, like he was pulling him out of hat. I was like, God damn, Lou, you
Really?
see what's happening right
Oh,
now? Shit was crazy.
Hey, dog, I ain't got no.
oh
bone to
yeah.
pick, dog.
Oh
Hey,
really?
hey.
That's the
Hey.
truth, Lou. Lou, that's the
Lou,
truth.
I can't-
That's
goddamn it,
100%
Lou.
true.
All I know,
I
hey,
told
all
him,
I
don't
know-
make me do this. He thought I was
All I
playing.
know,
Hey.
we posed the question, who's the best Dolphin, and we didn't hear Tua's name. That's all. Hey,
I saw
Hey.
no, bro. That
That's all I
motherfucker done
know,
dropped
dog.
like.
It is a
Hey,
dirty.
hey, how about the
it is
part
a
where he tried to
dirty
make up
game.
for it and he said Tua not top 10? Or no, Tua's at the bottom of top
Oh,
10 quarterbacks.
Really,
I said,
Cap? Is
hello,
that what
can
I
you
said,
say
Cap?
that?
Really?
You
I'm
said
gonna let you get it off.
You said
I'm gonna
Tua's
let
in
you
the
get
bottom
off whatever
10.
you want. It's your platform.
You said Tua got it in the bottom 10 is
Hey.
what he said. And I
Hey.
said, bro,
Oh,
he's
hey,
number
hey.
one in yards.
I'm gonna
He's
let you
number
get
one
it off.
offense
Go
in the
ahead.
league.
I'm gonna let you get it all out, Cap. Go ahead. This is respectfully
Go
your
ahead,
platform, my
EM.
friend. Go
I
ahead and get it
will
off.
defer to the guest.
Let me know when
because-
you're done.
Listen, I am reliving the moment. It was just as much of a surprise to me then. It's funny to laugh at because it's just, man, Dolphins lose. True colors finally come out and personal things. It's just fucking nuts, EM. So go ahead. Tell me how I've fabricated and lied all this. Go right ahead.
So, are you sure you done, Cap? You sure you got it all out?
I
Hey,
can't breathe no more, dude. I've been laughing
Okay,
so
that's
fucking
fine.
hard
All right.
because this is crazy. But go
first
right ahead.
off, I want to before we get into this, right?
Mhm.
You are a massive hoe for what you just did.
I know it is
Hey,
hoe shit to expose the lies. Like they
massive
be
hoe.
catching motherfuckers out there cheating and shit.
Nah.
Hoes be trifling on their asses, dog. They be trifling.
So,
I ain't gonna lie. I was told there was change a coming in 2024. Change
oh,
was a
for
coming.
sure. Oh, for sure.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
big
All right,
change.
for sure.
Big change. Big change. Go ahead.
So, with that being said, listen, man. At the end of the day, there's there's some truth to what you said. I didn't when you posed the question. First off, to provide all the context to the conversation, right? Myself, Cap, Lou, as well as CB83 were on a conference call earlier, chopping it up like we, like pretty much like we always
Before
do.
you continue, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but can you confirm or deny CB83 had pom poms during the phone call?
Oh shit! I didn't see none of that. I don't know.
Listen, Cat. For my part, I would say I could confirm, but I really don't know who CB83 is. So I listen. I don't.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
really know who that
okay.
is,
All
so
right, hey.
Oh shit! All right, sorry, Ian.
So-
I just figured, you already came out and said I'm telling the truth. Figured you would get the whole truth, but we're continue.
So listen, so we were chopping up like we always do, right? So we were just, we discussed a laundry list of topics, right, concerning our team. So the question came up, Cap. Again, we know how the internet works, right? So for the fans out there that's listening to your subscriber base, Cap posed a question about who is the best player on the team, right? I said A, Tyreek Hill. I think we can all agree as a fan base, right, that Tyreek Hill is the best player on the team. I think if you poll your everybody in the chat right now, they would 100% agree on that. I think so. So A, B, he said, well, who's the second best player on the team? I said Jalen Ramsey, because if you look at Tyreek Hill.
Well, you originally said Jalen Waddle, but we said on
No.
the whole team.
Oh, well, I thought you meant offense. I assumed that
That's
you were talking
exactly
about
what
offense.
you said. That's what you said in the conversation too. Oh, I thought you meant offense. That's
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
what you said. Word for
Right,
word
right,
in the
right,
conversation. That's how
Right.
well I remember it. That's how you know
Sounds
I told the
plausible
truth.
so far. Continue, Ian.
So I said Jalen Ramsey would be number 2 because those two players are the best at their respective positions. I think we can all agree to that, right? Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in the league. Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver. So this is where the conversation got a little muggy, right? Because he said, well, who's the third best guy? I said, well, you can make a case. I felt like it's Jalen Waddle.
No.
I said Jalen. I said Jalen Waddle. Did I not say that?
Yes,
Right?
you said Jalen Waddle.
Okay. So let me explain why I said Jalen Waddle. In my opinion, a healthy Jalen Waddle is arguably a top 5 to 7 best player at his respective position, in my opinion. Right? So
Is
I
there a
said,
Tagovailoa in our future anytime soon?
oh, absolutely. Well, Tua was coming next. Tua was next because I feel like Tua, when you look, I'm not ready to. I can't definitively say until Tua starts winning these big games. I can't put him in the, top 3 to 5 category definitively. But I do feel like from 5 to 7, Tua is definitely in that category. So that is what. So that is what basically what I said.
What
Hang on,
Ian
Cap.
just said. I'm going to let you continue, but I just want to
Go
point
ahead.
out right there what Ian just said. I cannot definitively put Tua in that category just yet, and that's what Hard Knocks and them wanted to protect, Lou. With what he just said. That's what Hard Knocks.
I don't know nothing about what you're talking about.
That's what fucking Hard Knocks wanted to.
I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. I am here to discuss what transpired on that phone call earlier. That's it. Nothing more.
Okay.
That Hard Knocks narrative, that's y'all's foolishness. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, to the fan base, to the people that are listening right now, I'm trying to really. I wish you would drop a poll in your chat there. Cap.
I will absolutely. What do you want the poll to say? I will do that right away. Thank you for the request.
Okay, so where the disagreement? My top 4 guys in the top 4 guys on the team right now. I would like
Give
to
me
know
your fifth just to round it
hang
out.
on. When healthy, I would say Teron Armstead. I would say. So
I knew he said Teron Armstead last time too.
No, we didn't even discuss 5, Cap. See, there you go, man. There you go playing them internet games. So I would like for everybody in the chat, where's the problem at with my top 5 guys on the team? Drop everybody that's listening. Drop who are your top 5 guys respectively on the team right now. In what order? In what order? You know what I mean?
Just hold on a second. I'm gonna take your top 5 and I'm gonna put it in different orders, and we'll let them choose. Okay.
But what I want to get to, right, is shouldn't Tua be the number 1 guy though on that list?
I'm confident Tua will be one day. I just don't think he is right now. He's not a more impactful player at his position than what Tyreek Hill is at this stage. Jalen Ramsey as well. He's just not. But that's no knock on Tua. Anytime you get a draft pick, and this is what we talked about as well, Cap. Anytime you select a player in the draft, you draft and develop that guy. If he winds up being a top 5 to 7 guy at his respective position, that's a freaking home run pick, bro. So that's no shade. That's nothing bad to say about Tua. That is a compliment. That's very complimentary of Tua.
Do you even have him making it out of the quarterback room?
What's that?
What do you mean? I mean, with your aversion to putting him in the top 10, do you even have him making it out of the quarterback room?
I don't understand the question.
Yeah, I don't need a color.
Where do you have him as quarterback on our team? Number 1, I hope, right?
Number 1, yeah.
Well, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
Just making sure. You were sounding a little shaky.
But he was in top 5 on his list. Of course, he's quarterback number 1. You were Tua's top 5 on your all-time 5, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty much the take. But he's not number 1.
Not yet. No, not yet. When you have a guy that's on a historic pace like a Hall of Fame trajectory like Tyreek Hill, same with Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Waddle's on a Hall of Fame trajectory as well. We talked about that on a phone call as well. He's been one of the most, if not the most, productive player at his position in his first 3 years in the 100-plus year history of the NFL. He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. So no shade at Tua. I think Tua is a five. You can safely say, and he might even be higher. He might be, but he's got to start winning. When you consider guys in the top 5 definitively at their position, you got to start winning too, bro. It's just not all about individual resume. You got to start winning too. And at this point, Tua, this is the first year he's even been healthy, right? You can't even. I mean, this is the first year that he's played 16 games, going into 17 on Sunday. So you factor all of that into the equation, bro. You can't. No, I'm sorry. You got Waddle, who's been more durable, been more impactful. You got Tyreek, obviously. You got Jalen Ramsey. Tua's number 4 on the team, which is, again, that's very complimentary in my opinion. A top 5 to 7 guy on your team at your position in the league. I don't understand what the problem is.
Esther says he got Hill, Ramsey, Chubb, Mostert, and then it's a toss-up at 5 with Holland and Waddle. Agree with that, Ian?
I'm sorry. What's that now? He said, "Oh, Hill, Ramsey, Chubb, Mostert." No. I don't agree with that. You consider the source, bro. Consider who is that? Who is that anyway? I don't even know who that is, bro.
All right, I put the poll question in there. I did as best I could. There's a lot of fucking names to type, so
hold it up, Cap. Hold it up.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to know anybody from Texas. Y'all have like 5 acres before you see your next neighbor. I mean, shit.
I have no idea. that might explain it, because I have no idea who that is right now. But yeah, man, I don't understand what the problem is, you know? So what you're saying, CB did have pom-poms? He was cheering. He was cheering in the background.
Oh yeah, he always cheering. You know this.
Is CB in the chat right now?
No, CB is not in the chat.
I could have sworn I seen him lurking. He dropped them. He dropped them Wolfpack emojis in the chat earlier.
Yeah, early in the beginning he did.
Yeah, he said y'all straight Wolfpack in the night, bro.
Ian, let me ask you.
Real quick, the difference between you and me, Ian, is when I turn it up, I got my neighbors wanting to do a wellness check.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you.
Hey, Ian, I know now. You said you didn't come up here for this, right? But now that you're here,
where you go, Lou? Kind of you got quiet there, Lou.
Well, they did us a huge break, because you know he wasn't coming with nothing but foolishness. You already know. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. He says.
I'm asking, can you hear me?
Unfortunately, we can, bro. But go ahead.
Okay.
Lou, perfect. Don't let him do you like that, Lou.
No. This is what we're gonna see. We're gonna see if EM is gonna be real up here. Is he gonna kind of lie a little bit? Right?
Oh,
put him on the spot.
Okay.
And you said you weren't up here for this, but now that you're here, I mean, anything we said about Hard Knocks, I'm sure you watched the episode, right? Before we get into this, you watched the episode, correct?
Yeah, I just finished it before I hopped up here.
Oh, okay, perfect. Is it safe to say that there was an agenda in place, right, to kind of deflect a little bit from the offense's performance on Hard Knocks, right? You don't see neither one of the interceptions. There's Tua, right? You don't see the drop from Claypool. You don't kind of see the frustration that we all seen watching the game Sunday afternoon. It's just funny to me, Ian, right? 7 weeks now, 7 episodes in of Hard Knocks. This was the first one. There was a highlight special dedicated to Vic Fangio. There's a highlight of Holland, Deshaun Elliott, Brandon Jones at a dinner table talking about, well, this defense is so much easier now to play.
Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah. I just finished watching it. Mm-hmm.
Well, Lou, what does he think?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it just seemed to me like there was an agenda in place to highlight the inability of the defense, right, to stop Lamar. But they never showed the offense having struggles against that defense either. And why do you think that is, Ian? Are they trying to protect the offense? Because it just felt to me, Ian, before you go, right? It just felt to me, today's episode, it felt like they were throwing certain individuals under the bus for
Well,
this loss.
who do you think they were throwing under the bus first and foremost?
Well, Vic Fangio on that defense, EM. Because the fact of the matter is, we all agree. But see, this is what I don't like, EM, and we talk about this a lot on personal phone calls, and then we get on panels and we talk about the same thing. Everybody in the fan base, right? The narrative after the game was it was a complete team loss. And I think all of us up here could agree with that, right? But on Hard Knocks, they didn't show a complete team loss. They showed the defense getting railroaded, right? They highlighted the 56 points. They couldn't get off the field. Everything the defense did, it was all about the defense today. It was nothing about the offensive performance, right? That to me is throwing a certain individual or a certain unit under the bus, bro. We're gonna be honest.
Oh, you done?
How'd it make
No,
you feel?
hell no, bro. I
DM?
think you motherfuckers up here reaching tonight, bro. That's what I think. Y'all are
Wow.
reaching. Y'all are clearly reaching. Yo, absolutely, bro. Like first and foremost, why from a Dolphin standpoint, right? Why would again? Everybody watched the freaking game. Everybody has the all 22, right? Everybody watched the film. Why? First off, they didn't try to shoot. I'm trying to see where did they highlight the defense getting railroaded? All they did was put the score up. I think in terms of what they released and what they showed and what they didn't show,
So
I thought it was pretty balanced.
told the tale of the game.
I thought it was balanced. I thought it was pretty balanced between offense and defense.
I know you're intelligent enough to know about framing in the media, bro, and that was straight framing, bro.
Yeah, they framed us.
No, I felt like it was pretty balanced.
Don't you feel entitled? Because here's the one difference you're not going to see that the film in the game is not going to show you, which is the reaction to adversity by our players. We as fans got to see that on our defensive side of the ball, but we're supposed to ignore how all the stuff that happened between 28 points and 56 points. We don't get to see the reaction to our offense when they face adversity. In other words, it seems to me that there was some kind of reaction to adversity that they didn't want us to see, bro. That's what it seems like to me.
They're hiding something.
Listen, hey, y'all are entitled to your opinion. You asked me mine, and I told you. I think it was in terms of what they showed and what they didn't show. I felt like it was pretty balanced. Now, let me say this: the Chubb injury, when they showed that and highlighted that kind of they showed a little more on the defensive side, but for the most part, I felt like it was pretty balanced, bro.
So, something I looked at.
That could be too, Larry K. Or maybe it wasn't interesting enough. Because fans would want to see, if we're see the reaction and they're just being all nonchalant about it, fans would probably be upset about that. Oh, why don't you seem like you care?
But if it's not interesting, here's the deal. Us Dolphin fans watched the game. I saw what the defense did to lose this game. I saw what the special teams did to lose this game. And I saw what the offense did to lose this game. When I watched Hard Knocks, I did not see a rendition that I think told all three of those tales. It told two of them and hid one of them. And they filled it with they didn't show parts that.
I think y'all are reaching, gentlemen. I think y'all reaching. It's late. Y'all been in that some of y'all been in that cabinet too much today, bro. Y'all are fucking reaching. And I feel like it was pretty balanced.
Let them pedal up their lie bike, bro.
Nah, yeah, we ain't listen. But here's the thing. We're talking on the lie. I'm just saying, why though? Really, why do it? Because it's not like the narrative, and people have made points in chat. It's not like it would have been uninteresting because I saw the stuff they put in there and I found that to be uninteresting. All the weird puff piece. It was so much filler in the beginning that usually isn't the case in Hard Knocks. It had dumber filler in it. You know what I'm saying? Even the Jason Sanders small bit was even smaller because they filled in all this mishmash of nonsense that didn't really tell the tale that I thought they were going to do how they'd done in weeks past. It was different.
Hold on, real quick. Q's proving my point right here. He says, so you wanted the narrative to bash Tua. See how it can only be one or the other, and that's what they knew.
Turn up, Q. Turn up, Q. Turn up. Put your foot on their neck, Q.
But if there was any reaction by our offensive players they didn't want us to see, it's because.
Matter of fact, drop that goddamn link for Q real quick. Drop that link, goddamn it. Pull up, Q. Put your foot on their neck.
You see what I'm saying? It's not that we might want to know how he reacted. It's that we're ready to bash him. See that?
But see, therein lies the thing. I'm not. I never said Tua. I said offense, defense, special teams. We all watched it.
And how is
they left out
anybody?
They left out the offensive parts, and I gotta ask why. It's not because it would have been uninteresting. It's the truth. It's not because of they had better content to provide me, because I thought a lot of it was thrown together and pretty bland and kind of dumb.
But let me ask you this, Cap.
In the beginning of it,
the only play I saw, now again, they showed Lamar, clips of Lamar throwing the ball or what, but in terms of highlighting people getting beat, the only one they showed was Cater Kohu, right? Everybody else, they didn't nice highlight anybody getting torched and
nice reel
barbecue.
Of Lamar toasting
you're fair to point that out.
Their defensive reel was of a turnover and them getting toasted by Lamar. The offensive reel was a put together of that awesome drive and of Tyreek Hill dropping the ball, and then the fucking score was 19-53. 19-52.
So
how the fuck we get there?
Yeah, here's how it literally went, right? It was 35-13. Liv Schreiber's like, they're going to need to get a turnover here. Zach Sealer gets the turnover, right? The next clip was, it's 56-19, and everybody's all down on themselves, and Chubb's about to get hurt. Like, what happened?
Was that not a positive play from the defense?
Yes, it was. But the point is,
it went from 35 points to 56 as if the defense got the turnover and then fucked up the rest of the way. They didn't show you the fact that the very next play, we gave the ball right back to
They didn't do that. You're correct, Color. But
the fact that, again, see, people want to sugarcoat it. I'm tired of sugarcoating shit. We all knew what this matchup was. The matchup was Tua versus Lamar, two MVP candidates, two guys that have led their teams to fighting for the overall number one seed. It's just funny to me. They highlighted it in the thing. Lamar Jackson threw 5 touchdowns. Did they show Tua Tagovailoa's 2 touchdowns? Yes, they did, right? Yeah. What they didn't show was the 2 interceptions, because to everybody's point in chat, what Q said, they want to bash Tua. No, it's not about bashing Tua. It's to show, though, again, what happened in the game. Don't try to feed me, show me Tua Tagovailoa, man. Look, hey, man, the man threw 2 touchdowns, but they don't want to show the interceptions. Why is that? Because the fact of the matter is, if Tua Tagovailoa would have threw 4 touchdowns, you think we would have seen that?
Or how about we?
But from a y'all are not considering
with a punt.
Y'all are not taking taking enough into account. There's always a PR game being played, bro, with these organizations.
Well, that's what we're pointing out, though, EM.
I'm not saying I am not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just telling you, there's always a PR game in play.
With the panel. Thank you, EM. Continue your point.
We got you to
that I agree with, but
fucking why, EM? Hold on, hold on, real quick. Why? Because nobody was sitting there shitting on Tua after that loss. Nobody was shitting on just one person. Why are they protecting the fucking offense so much?
See, that is where we part ways. That is where we part ways. I don't think. See, y'all are making this about a Tua issue or an offense issue or a Mike McDaniel issue, trying to make themselves look bad and themselves look good and the defense look bad. No, that's where we part ways. No, that is not.
But let me give you a scenario, EM. Right? Let me paint the picture for you to show you what they did to highlight the defense and make it seem like, again, they were talking shit. You don't put right before they went to pan off to what happened in the game. You don't show the clip of Javon Holland, Deshaun Elliott, and Brandon Jones sitting at a table saying this defense is clicking on all cylinders. This defense is so easy to play because, hey, we got an understanding now. We can play free. You don't throw the defense under the bus and show them talking about how good they feel, right, and how they can execute, but then you show them getting their ass whooped.
Where did they highlight the player other than Cater Kohu getting burnt? Where?
I know.
I'm asking you,
bro. It's the fact that we held them to a punt early in the game and answered on offense with another punt.
They showed the Zay Flowers 70-yard bomb too, bro.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
They showed it, but they didn't show anybody getting beat. They showed Lamar throwing the football.
To get beat. We're not asking
to
see
Lamar
someone
throwing
get
the
beat.
football.
Yeah, what we're all trying to say is the whole fan base agrees that it was an issue of complimentary football is why we lost the game.
All I know
not presented in a way that made it look like it was a complimentary loss. You see what I'm saying?
All I know, this is the first time it's got to be in the history of YouTube, right? That you got somebody from in the chat that's bodying two dudes up on a panel right now, Cap and Lou. Q is bodying you guys right. My bad, Cap. You guys right now.
Why? Because he says you want to show the intercepted to prove the narrative. No one was pushing that narrative.
Put your foot on their neck, Q. Call them out. Call these hypocrites out, goddammit.
After our defense held them to
Turn
a
up.
point.
Turn up, goddammit. I bet you won't drop that. I bet you won't drop that link. I bet you won't drop that link.
Well, let me address this comment, right?
Okay.
This is the most hypocritical shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna highlight it again. You want to show the interceptions to push a narrative against Tua. Okay, cool. Last week against the Dallas Cowboys, they had a highlight of Tua going to the sideline talking to McDaniel. They highlighted Tua executing the play to get the game-winning field goal to create the narrative that Tua is the goddamn MVP. So they can create I'm saying to the point. That's what he said, to create a narrative against Tua, but they don't have a problem creating the narrative.
No.
Tua,
he's saying y'all are doing that. He's saying y'all are. He's not saying the Dolphins. He's saying y'all are doing that.
And what we're saying,
he's got his foot on y'all's neck right now.
I'm trying to tell you, take away the interception. Talk about the 3 and out after our defense held them to a punt.
Why? No, fuck all that. I don't give a shit what it is. I don't care about what Q's saying. I don't care about what
There's
I'm
Q
saying.
right there. I brought Q up. I brought Q up.
Turn up, Q. Turn up, Q. Put your foot on a goddamn neck right now.
Land the point.
I want to see foam coming out that goddamn mouth right now.
We'll see. We'll hear Q because Q
That's
has
all
a
I want to
narrative
see
he's
is foam
pushing.
coming out their mouth.
Q's got a narrative he's pushing, and EM has got his pom poms out, borrowed from CB83, who we don't know who that is. Go ahead, Lou. Land your point.
Why does the Dolphins?
Go ahead, Q.
Right.
Finish him. Finish him.
I got him.
Yeah, I know. Why does the Dolphin PR not have a problem creating the narrative to push Tua, but they have a problem showing what happened on Sunday? Why? It's very simple to me. Why is that?
What company is going to? And again, everybody saw the game. We know what happened. What company, from a PR standpoint, is going to put anything out for public consumption that's going to reflect negatively on their organization, bro?
They did it to the
Who
defense.
the fuck does that?
They did it to the defense.
They did not do that. They didn't do that. I felt like they didn't. They did not do that for the defense.
I get it.
Hold
Defense
on,
has to play
real quick.
defense off the field too. I get it.
Go ahead,
Listen,
Q.
Listen, real quick.
Finish him. Finish him.
Real quick. Why are you guys harping on the interception? Why do you want them to show the interceptions?
No. I'm harping on Q. I'm harping on the fact they didn't show it. Not that I need to see it. That why did they calculatively leave out the story?
The people that didn't watch the game would probably like to know how the score got from 28 to 56.
We needed to see it on Hard Knocks.
Can we let the man? Can we let the man get his shit off?
Go ahead, Q.
Please.
We all saw the game. It didn't matter that we needed to see it on Hard Knocks. We all saw the game. Everybody saw the game. We all know Tua threw the pick. Why did you need to see it on Hard Knock though? Because it's funny. It's funny that you say you're not pushing the narrative against Tua, but then again harp on the interception, which tells me that you want to push a narrative against Tua to
Okay,
show that
see,
those
this
interceptions.
is the kettle calling
hold
the
up, hold
pot
up,
black.
hold up, real
Go
quick,
ahead,
real quick,
let him
real
finish,
quick.
Color, because
To
I'm gonna
reflect,
handle it.
to reflect
We punted more than
on
once, bro. Forget the
hold up, Color.
interception.
I'm not saying show
You
every
want
pump. Go ahead.
you want the Hard Knocks to reflect on the frustration you had and the feelings that you have for a certain person on a team.
Oh,
I'm gonna name
yeah.
okay? Like I said,
I
you
like where we're
See,
going now.
Here, of course, EM likes where
I,
this is going. Because now
I
we've entered
like
into
this.
bullshit.
real quick.
This
real
is
quick.
why
I heard-
EM likes
I
where
heard-
it's going. Because now we've entered into
real quick, I'll let you
bullshit
cook
right
after,
here.
Cap. I
Go
won't
ahead.
be long.
Hurry up and land before we let you spew any more lies. Go
All right,
ahead.
all right. I heard Lou
Before you
said.
go, Q,
I heard Lou
I'm
said.
loving this.
hold on.
Hold up.
H, I got to address H. Q ain't forgot where he's at. Q helped build this train, bro. What you talking
Yeah,
about?
he
It
did.
was
Go
right
ahead,
where he's
Q.
at.
Drive your train of nonsense.
I heard Lou said. He just said it on this panel just now. He said, "It's not what I wanted to see." Boy, you in your feelings, boy. You in your feelings. You
Oh,
wanted to see that.
All I know is he's
Yes.
called
Your
out
feelings about
Lou's
Tua
name
is
a
right.
lot in this, and
You
I
and
don't
your
like it.
feelings, boy.
No,
He's called out Lou's
that's
name
you,
a lot in
that's
this,
Lou,
and I don't
that's
like
Color.
it. Let me
And
let
I will say this. I will say this about the
Christ's
episode.
sake.
I will say this about the episode. It's TV, bro. They will do anything to make people watch the episode, bro. It's just TV.
No, I agree
It
with
don't
that
make sense.
sentiment. I said that early on that we get it's an entertainment thing.
Same goddamn thing and called it
I
out.
get it.
Can,
So
can, can I address?
That man said, "Boy."
You Dolphins calling it out. That's the real.
Team and my fandom. Then guess what? We're gonna do it.
Can I
We
address?
call them out for it. Thank you,
Lou,
96 people
Lou,
watching.
I want to let
address
Lou.
my
I
name?
want to let Lou address Q because Q had Lou's name all in his mouth the whole time. I don't know why. But I'm gonna
So he
before.
said,
That's why I
Before you
fuck
go,
with Q
hold
to
on,
the
hold on,
fullest. Goddammit. That's why I
you
fuck
got
with
your
Q.
wish, EM. Everybody quit burying you, and now you've got it turned around in a way that's let you get away from it. I'm gonna let you land Lou,
really?
in just a
Okay.
second.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let
okay.
you land in a second,
"That's
Lou.
how it looks."
But let me say this, Q. It's more of you're talking about a propensity to want to see the interceptions to push narrative. To me, I feel like they've done a disservice to
You
a
say,
guy
"I
that's
feel."
number
I
one on my
feel like-
list. Hold on, I'll let you
Like
land.
I said, feelings.
No. Okay.
Can
all
I?
right.
God damn it! My name
Go
was
ahead, Lou.
improvised.
Go ahead, Lou.
Can
Never
I
mind.
address
He's
this
gonna play
feelings
this game.
narrative?
Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah. Let's play this game because it's real. It's real cute. Someone gonna come up here and say, "Lou, you're in your feelings." Q, let me prove to you how you're in your feelings, bro.
Okay.
When I'm up on these goddamn panels, and when I'm up on CB's panels, and I'm talking to EM or wherever I am, and I'm praising this team, and I'm praising Tua Tagovailoa, oh, Lewis is the man. Lewis is speaking facts. Lewis is oh my God, he's preaching. But now
How
that
does
I
that?
can
How
be
does
a
that relate?
hold on, Q,
How-
Q, when you were talking,
Okay.
I didn't say a word, bro. I didn't say a word.
Go ahead. All right, my bad.
But now that I want to be objective, right, and I call it how I see it, now I'm an idiot and I'm in my feelings, right? Right, boy? No, the person that's in their
Nah.
feelings is you because you don't like the fact that I'm talking about Lil Tua. And I don't give a, let me be very clear. I'm going to get my voice very clear on this. I don't give a fuck who don't like it. I'm gonna say how I feel. Don't
Stand your
sit here and
ground,
talk
Q.
about-
Don't let that nigga bully you. Don't let him bully you.
I ain't
Stand.
scared.
I'm
I
gonna
ain't
need them
scared.
10 toes, Q. I need them
I
10
ain't
toes
scared.
now,
I ain't
goddammit.
scared. I ain't scared.
Again,
I'm here. I'm here.
EM,
He ain't saying
you're
nothing.
sitting here-
I hear a
you're-
whole lot of talking, but he ain't saying nothing.
I just told you what it is. Why am I in my feelings, right? The same thing you accused me of being, Q, right? But you're in your feelings because when I'm talking positive about Tua, when Tua plays well, you have no problem. I'm preaching at that point, right? Lewis is speaking facts. But now I come and I say something negative about Tua, and now I'm in my feelings. How does that work, bro? Don't it
Okay.
seem like you're in your feelings now because I'm talking about Tua?
You done, bro? You done?
He's the one who made it all about Tua. I was
done?
more harping on the idea
Hold
of
up,
why
Cap.
they
Let me
No one
lying
finish
to
him
me.
off, Q. Put his ass
Why
in
are
the
they
dirt,
lying to
Q.
me? No one is
Let
I
even
me
want to see that
mentioning
foam
Tua.
coming out his
Q.
goddamn mouth.
I noticed your
Go
boy.
ahead, choke him out, Q.
But
Choke
let
him
me
out.
respond real quick.
Q is in fact
Louis.
a Steelers fan,
Louis.
but we're not going to knock him for that because they got to take care of business Sunday too. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Appreciate if
hey,
y'all just
Lou.
take care of business, Q.
Hey, Lou. When you on the panels and you criticize Tua for playing bad, and you on the panels, you giving him praise. It doesn't matter to me, bro. It's cool with me. You criticize the man when he's playing bad. You give him praise when he's playing good. What we talking about, all of that does not relate to the conversation we're having now. What we talking about is the Hard Knocks not showing this, right? And I'm saying, why are you harping on a two interception other than trying to push a narrative against Tua? Because you can
You're absolutely
criticize
right.
the man film base. You can come to me
Okay.
and say Tua didn't throw this ball well. He didn't make the correct read, and it's cool. I'm cool with that. You
Okay.
can say
Okay.
that.
Cool.
But when you say,
Absolutely.
they trying to protect Tua, which makes no sense to me, Lou. Why would they protect Tua? You tell me that. Why would they protect Tua? It makes no sense.
Q.
Unless
Hold on, Color, real quick.
it makes for good TV. Unless it makes for good
Q.
TV and it comes off as.
And I get what you're saying, bro. You made a good point. You're absolutely right. Okay, cool. Maybe I'm harping on something, but I'm not trying to create a narrative. But I just want to ask you a question, Q, in reverse, right? We have 102 people right now in this room. If Tua Tagovailoa, let's say in that game, would have threw 4 touchdowns, and they wanted to show them, people in this chat be in an absolute outrage because they didn't show those touchdowns. Would people be up here crying, talking about, well, Tua led the.
Luke,
I don't know. You don't do that.
I don't know
do
anything
that.
what these people.
we wouldn't
I don't
have
know
100
anything these
people
people think.
because everybody
I
goes
don't know
to
what
sleep when
anything
we're
these
winning.
people think. All I know is me. All I know is what I think, and I think it doesn't matter because I watched the game. I watched the game. It was live. There's highlights. So why would why would watching the episode of Hard Knocks change my thoughts and my opinions of what happened in the game?
Well, you saw the game. Here's the point I'm trying to make, Q, is that you saw the game. You know the narrative. They can leave holes in the story, and you would know where to fill them because you watched the game. Hard Knocks entertainment show isn't shown to just fans of the Dolphins or just Raven fans. They watch because they're sports fans. And I'm not saying it's obviously it's the majority, but why are they rewriting history? Why are they not rewriting it? Why are they leaving parts out while filling it in with garbage and filling it in with a push and a lean away from the shortcomings on offense? Listen, every episode I watched, everyone's been better than the last. When Jalen Phillips got injured, it was this whole buildup of how great he's doing, and then he got injured and how sad it was. It was part of it, okay? You guys saw the episode, correct? So but it wasn't a buildup of what happened to the Dolphins on Sunday. It was a buildup of then the defense, then they lost, and it was a one-sided loss in a way that for the layman that isn't a Dolphins fan would have probably said this defense failed this game. Couldn't stop Lamar. He went off for 50-something points. That's what somebody who hadn't seen the game would make that assessment.
My thing is the Hard Knocks episode after the Titans game, they did not show all the bad moments in that game.
But it was fair. It was a fair momenting, to be honest with you. It was very fair.
This just proves what I'm saying. Y'all just in your feelings, bro.
No, you're in your feelings with vested interest in Tua Tagovailoa.
Can you let the man finish, Cap? Please, let him finish, Cap.
No. I'm not going to let him spread any more lies, and you ain't throwing pom-poms no more.
How was that a lie, bro?
And now. Cuban throwing around feelings all conversation when you have more vested feelings and interest in said player that you're trying to bring it around because it's circling your feeling tornado is pulling us in.
Didn't you ask him to come up here and give him
nobody is talking about Tua.
Real quick. You dedicated an entire show to why they didn't show interceptions on the Hard Knocks. I mean, look at the title of the show. That's feelings right there, bro.
It
You
says,
should add feelings next to
Miami
it.
Dolphins Hard Knocks review, and if you
Add
watch the
feelings next to
beginning,
it.
if you watch the beginning, TMI,
We
it
ain't
was
talking about the
originally
film. We ain't talking about the film. We ain't talking about next week's matchup. We talking about the Hard Knocks, bro. An episode on TV
talking
that
about
I
the
do not give a
film.
shit
What am I
about.
going to talk about? What do you want? You want to watch the game again? I'll fucking pull up the film.
Yes.
I tried.
I would
watched the
rather
game
watch
to
the
do a
game.
film
I would
breakdown.
rather watch
It was
film
brutal.
breakdown.
Well, then
Break
what
down
the
next
fuck
week's
are you
game.
doing
Next
here?
week's
Because
game.
you know you got busted
Bro,
with
you
your
dropped the
real
link. Come on now.
feelings.
Come on.
You got busted with your real.
You got the
You
link.
got
Come on.
busted with
Here
your
we
real
go.
feelings.
Somebody
Come
touched
on
the
now.
nerve. Here we
Come on
go.
now.
Here
Who
we
touched the
go. Turn up, goddammit. Q,
I am turning
don't let
up.
them
Thank you.
bully you. They are clearly
Hey,
in their
10
feelings.
toes down, EM. 10
They was
toes down,
hey,
bro.
they was in their
He's in
feelings
his
early on that
feelings.
goddamn phone
Q
call.
with a
They're still in
vested
their feelings
interest.
right now,
We
goddammit.
love Q around
Oh, wait.
here, but Q, a resident, self-proclaimed
boys.
Steelers fan, enjoys Dolphins content and gets down in the shenanigans, but a favoritism of his personal feelings, not only through just love of the game and watching, but also vested interest in heritage. Q, things we all admire and respect about you, but don't come in here throwing around accusations of what I'm trying to explain to you when it's you that's coming in here with all the feelings attached to Tua
But
the whole
respectfully,
time.
Cap, didn't you ask the man to come up? Respectfully, Cap, didn't you ask the man to come up here and offer his perspective? Is that not what happened?
I did,
Okay.
but he started coming out and lying, just like you did into your conversation. You had him ranked. Where's Tua ranked as far as quarterbacks in the NFL?
Really,
EM. Where is Tua ranked amongst quarterbacks in the NFL? EM.
Yeah. We said that.
Where is it?
Really?
No, in the
okay.
NFL. Where is he?
Yeah,
Where,
really,
Lou,
bro.
Lou, didn't he say he was in the bottom 10,
That man is
Lou?
really, he's clearly
in
in
the
his
bottom
feelings
10,
right
Lou.
now.
Tell him honestly now, Lou.
That's
Get his ass.
bro. Hey, he clearly
I
is in
still
his
got the
feelings.
shovel.
He's
I will
clearly in
bury
his feelings,
EM
bro.
and then throw Q's ass on top of him in the hole and bury both you motherfuckers right now. Don't play with me and all your bullshit ass feelings.
Oh my God. Hey, it's a dirty game. That's cool, Cap. I'm gonna let you get your shit off though, but don't worry. For every action, there's a reaction. And so y'all stay.
That's right. I gotta buy a new shovel. I'm getting tired wearing the edges down on this bitch.
Hey, love y'all boys. Appreciate it.
Way to slaughter these.
Salute.
Hey,
Salute.
way to slaughter these fools, Q. Salute, homie. Salute.
Homie.
Yeah.
All right, Q.
Oh shit.
Greg, I see you kept coming in and out. I could tell Greg's got something very important to get off his chest. We appreciate you, Greg. Go ahead.
This Hard Knocks was the worst one of them all. We started off celebrating the Cowboys win. We had Peter Strager saying whatever he was spilling. Then we get into the good part. Vic Fangio shows up. They show him highlighting how he stopped Russell Wilson and thinking they can stop Lamar. Then we get into Skylar Thompson in practice. Skylar Thompson cannot fucking run as Lamar Jackson. He's out there in his silly little jersey imitating Skylar Thompson. And then we get into this game. They show Zach Seiler get a fumble. And then they act like we scored a touchdown off it. It was ridiculous.
They did. They edited it in such a way that we got a touchdown after the fumble when the reality was that it resulted in another turnover.
Yes. It's ridiculous. This was the worst one of them all.
It was chopped and edited in a way to tell a story from the beginning, not too dissimilar than any other episode, except this one had undertones of lying. And it's meant to capture the simple-minded. And all of the people that don't see what we're talking about are obviously simple-minded. EM, go right ahead.
So what's the motivation behind that, you think? I want to know, Wax, from all of y'all.
Well, listen, I don't know the motivation, EM. I don't. And I'm not trying to get to the motivation.
What does your gut tell you? What's the motivation?
We can speculate for sure. I love shake speculation that they're prepared. They could be preparing Vic Fangio's head for the chopping block, albeit if people are calling for someone's head, and then Robert Saleh gets fired and the Jets bring him from the Jets and we bring him over. Maybe they heard word on that. Maybe they're just teeing that door open a little bit. I thought I listen, it was a great I'm not so concerned with the reasonings why. I can't imagine the reasonings why, because that's where this entire thing has me at a loss, okay? Because the narrative after the game wasn't how Tua failed us. The narrative after the game wasn't like, look how great Lamar did, MVP, look how poor Tua did, never going to be MVP. None of these were the talking points. It wasn't the stuff. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the deal.
Destroying unity for some reason.
It was keeping
by
it
and large
objective.
as a fan base.
It's just a weird. I don't know why. I just
second
noticed
time
it.
that Chris Greer, as far as being in the organization, has sown discourse in the fan base. Let's be
it's
real.
just a weird thing. That's why. And now EM maybe come here in the next week or so. We'll see things being released by the Dolphins. We'll see that maybe they're going to tell us why they did this or whatever. Or we'll see what happens next Hard Knocks episode. Because if next Hard Knocks episode, I very seriously doubt that next Hard Knocks episode is going to pick up where the Ravens' loss ended. They didn't even show outtakes this episode. At the end of the episode, they didn't show outtakes like they usually do in wins or losses. They went right to a blank black screen and
when they
scrolled
shrink the window,
credits.
they usually show more stuff. And
They literally did this in a way that was very, what the fuck is going on? That's what I'm pointing out. What the fuck? That's what I'm not saying it's because of this, and I'm not inserting Tua because Q said it's because about Tua because that's all he could think about, and I'm not going to say it was Mike McDaniel. It's nobody. I'm just asking why. What the fuck? What do they know that I don't know? Why are they doing this?
Again, I think y'all are reaching, bro.
You want to speculate? Speculate to me why someone would do the things that you're doing.
Listen,
tell us that EM is if we go out and whoop the Buffalo Bills' ass this weekend, then we are going to look like a bunch of jackasses.
Well, right? I'm not
going to look like a jackass.
I'll be happy.
I think the motivation. I think the motivation is, I think it's it's 100% a PR approach, bro. No organization is going to put negative, content out there so that people are going to think anything negative about their product, bro. That's the game. That's the PR game. And that's just not relative to football. That's any business, bro. That's life. 100%.
I'm glad you brought up life. Because I'm a little hot right now, and it's because of the cult following, right? Now, I'm sure Q didn't mean it like that.
What cult following? You got to define that. What is that? What do you mean?
These fucking knee patter Tua fucking dick suckers.
Oh, okay.
Are the people I'm talking about,
God
right?
Damn.
Because the fact of the matter is, I'm sure Q didn't mean it like that. Because me and Q, we're good, and I didn't take it like that. But when Q said the word boy, right, it came with like a little racial undertone with it, right? Like, boy, we all know what that fucking means. But this fucking idiot in the chat, right, when I made the comment of little Tua, look at this fucking idiot. Little Tua, insulting as fuck. Let me go to the next one. Not white, not black, must suck. I got called boy, right, with a racial tone. Now this fucking idiot, this fucking idiot, right, is here listening to me, right? But he'll sit there and defend a fucking guy that he will never meet in his life. Tua don't know who the fuck you are, don't give a fuck about who the fuck you are, but you'll sit there and kill your own mama. And all you'll hear is that I said little fucking Tua. I don't give a fuck. So it's okay for another grown man to come and say, boy, that don't matter to this fucking idiot. But because I said little Tua, now I'm a racist. Oh, I'm not black. You're right. I'm not white. You're right again. I'm fucking Cuban. What the fuck does that even mean? This fucking idiot's been sitting here taking shots this whole fucking time. Here you go right here. Here's one right here. According to this so-called Dolphin fan, Brian Flores was the greatest coach and since Shula. You goddamn right he was. You goddamn motherfucking right he was. And the reason that we got him up out of here is because he bitched up your bitch ass little Tua. And he bitched up fucking Chris Greer. And he bitched up your fucking Stephen Ross. He told all of them, close the door behind you. You know where my office is. You know what little Tua did? Call for security. That's what little Tua did. So you goddamn right, Brian Flores. You goddamn right, Brian Flores was
what you did,
the best
Q?
coach.
See what you fucking
that
did,
smoke
Q?
is coming. That
See what
smoke,
you fucking did, Q?
That smoke is coming. Hey.
Don't sit here and try to make it a racial thing or whatever. I don't give a damn if I talk shit about Tua Tagovailoa until I turn blue in the face. I don't give a shit. But don't sit here and make it seem like, oh, I was so disrespectful. And again, there's no shot at Q. I don't think Q even meant it like that. But when he said, boy, did it not sound, EM, I heard you pipe up. Did it have a little racial undertone to it? Did it sound like that?
Q is.
I didn't say he was. I'm asking you, did it sound like it had a little undertone to it?
Well, not a racial undertone. It just to me, I think Q. First off, I think it was trolling.
I agree.
I didn't catch a racial undertone to it personally.
But I agree. I agree. Everything you're about to say, EM. That's why I said I don't even get mad at you. I didn't even hear me respond. What I'm asking you, EM, right? When you hear the word boy, what do you think of?
Well, it depends on where it comes from. Now, if I hear you say boy, that's one thing. If I hear Cap or Color say boy, well, that's something totally different.
Listen here now, boy.
Yeah,
that's exactly how you don't want to hear it, Liam.
That's a totally different scenario.
Hey, I threw the twang on it too. You're welcome.
Of that lingo, I really don't know. So apologies if I ever stumble in the shit, bro. Just saying.
So, hey, man,
I didn't hear no twang on Q's.
Q, and I Cap again. I'm good with Q. Q said I'm trolling. Bro, Q, I understand that. I'm going at this fucking idiot that got so sensitive to the fact that I said little Tua. So what? What does it matter?
Was I supposed to get racial overtones to that too? Because I really don't.
Oh,
on, shit! It's just ridiculous.
We've gone off the rails now.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned. I don't know. I just didn't get nothing out of that little.
See, he says right here. Says stop bashing Tua. It's the whole team. Well, that was kind of the whole point of this conversation.
I would agree, but that's not what Hard Knocks shows.
It was never to single out Tua. It was that I seen them single out everyone but the offense, and I'm not going. It's the offense's fault. They lost the game.
Well,
They never said none of that shit. In fact, you heard me right after the game, right after on the next episode, talk about the failures of the defense. But I also pointed out the failures of the offense. I don't necessarily understand why, and we can go into scenarios and reasons that they would do that. And I did point out the last time I seen the organization just hide or lie to me was the last year of the Brian Flores tenure when there was all kinds of shit coming out, and I don't really like it. I don't like this veiled bullshit.
We weren't asking them to make it an hour show about the offense. We're asking, how did we get from 28 points to 56 without the offense taking the field?
Well, if it's not about Tua, and again, I kind of want to address Lewis here at this point, right? Again, I love Lewis like he's my biological brother, right? Like he shares the same blood that I have. I love that dude.
Me too,
right? That's my guy.
Me too, right? Me too.
Cap, I love you too, bro.
Okay. Biological brother love? Do I get biological brother?
Oh, 100%.
Fucking right. Hell
100%.
Yeah, go ahead.
But here we go, Lou. Like, we keep it 1,000 here. That's why I fuck with y'all, because I like to think we all try to, toe that line of objectivity, right, as the best we can. So, Lou, in terms of, like, why Q, I feel like, and again, I'm not attempting to speak for him, but it's just my opinion why he took the position he did with you specifically, is because the way things sounded, and then on top of that, right, when we talked, we kind of was texting earlier now, right? If we're going to keep it 1,000, what was that text you sent? What was that text you dropped in that group chat, that group text?
The same thing I said up here on the episode of Hard Knocks. Where was the interceptions?
Again, the implication there is that
what is the implication?
You left it open for interpretation. You didn't clarify.
No.
You left it open.
It's hard to clarify in texts.
How much more clear do I have to be? I want to see the interceptions. I mean, I don't understand what do I need to clarify in that statement?
Again,
why don't you?
Lou?
Here's the better question, EM. Why don't you want the interceptions played? Q. Why don't you want the interceptions played?
It don't matter to
also,
me.
Why don't you want the interceptions played?
It don't matter to me.
Why?
I don't care whether they show them or not. It don't matter to me. All I'm saying is, listen. All I'm saying is, again, why I think y'all are well. I'll get to that in a minute. But Lewis, again, you left that open for interpretation because you said, I quote, why weren't the interceptions shown, right? Oh, I wonder why. What am I supposed to do with that?
Well, because we know why, though.
Why?
We know
okay.
why.
Well, clarify why do you think why they did that then? Why they took that position?
Because again, I don't know. Again, is my mic on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I've only been saying it all goddamn night. The matchup was Tua versus Lamar.
So
MVP
you did make it about Tua then.
Bro, Jesus Christ! In this scenario, yes, but did you also?
Well, again, that's all I said. Why Q took the position that he did? That's all I said.
Okay, Ian. Well, let me ask you this: why didn't Q come up and say that he also heard me say when I brought up those interceptions that Tua threw an absolute dime in between double coverage that Chase Claypool dropped?
Yeah, why didn't they show the Chase Claypool drop?
And I wanted to see that drop.
I mean, Q can only answer that. I don't know why. Q, pull back up. Q, pull back up. He's still in the chat. Pull back up, Q. Pull up.
Make it about the MVP
throwing a lifeline.
race. The entire fan base did for the whole week leading up to the game.
But and I asked you, but again, EM just said, well, you're making it about Tua. No, I brought up Claypool too. Because when Claypool dropped that ball during the game, right? Everybody seen him pick up the ball and slam the ball on the ground. Did everybody see that during the game?
Yep.
So why not show me the frustration of that play? Why not show me the struggles of the offense? Not Tua, the offense. That's what I'm asking for. Because if Tua Tagovailoa throws 5 touchdowns, I guarantee you those are highlighted. I guarantee you're not missing those. Because Tua had 2 touchdowns. We both seen both of those, and they were great plays by Tua. But he also had 2 interceptions. They were nowhere to be found. Don't sit here and tell me that there was an agenda being pushed. Don't sit here and tell me that there was again, the fix was in. And if I got to sit here and clarify
what agenda was that? What agenda are you referencing?
They were protecting Tua.
Oh, that's all we wanted to do. That's all I wanted you to say. I needed it on wax.
Okay.
So all of that. So that's the point that I was trying.
2 hours. We've been on for 2 hours.
Again, but I didn't hear not one of y'all say that not one time that the y'all said initially all night that it wasn't about Tua.
Y'all
said that it was about Tua.
But it's not only on Tua. I just said Claypool too.
What you just said. What you just admitted, Lou. You said, yeah, it's about Tua. That's what you just said. It's all wax.
No, I think what Lou's trying to say, the reasons for what they're doing is about Tua. Well, what they're not showing. And I'm asking why? Why are they doing that? And and Lou's coming to the conclusion back on the other side that they're doing it because of Tua. And I don't understand why they would feel it necessary. I feel like Tua's done enough this year and played well enough that if he had he didn't have a bad game. That's the fucking thing. Like, showing the failures in the offense is a part of the failures of the team, and they protect him in this way. I don't feel like it was necessary. And it's almost like it's triggering people who believe that was what was going to come at them unfairly. It was going to come at Tua, like Tua fans unfairly. We're going to take criticism that Tua doesn't deserve. And I'm saying it's unfairly they took it off of him and put it on other people. And it's not just Tua, it's the offense in totality. That's the weird thing that we're pointing out here.
My only point, right? The only point that I was trying to make is why Q took the position he did with Lewis, right?
Ian, fuck all that. You talked to me before the game.
Absolutely.
Right? Did I talk about the Dolphins losing to Baltimore? Did I ever tell you that I thought Lamar Jackson was going to play better than Tua?
Before the game?
Right,
You talking
before
about
the
before the
game.
game?
Yes,
No,
before the
no,
game.
no, no. You didn't. You didn't.
Oh, okay, cool.
You didn't.
Me, Color, Cap, we Crypto, we all did shows on here. We went to Twitter. We all did shows, right? Cool. Did anybody ever hear any of us say anything disparaging about the team, Tua, the offense, anything? No, we did not. Look at this idiot. But you rats and snakes are on my shit, right? Pushing your agenda. What
Oh
agenda?
shit!
But what agenda? See, before the game, I was
Damn.
promoting this team. Before the game, I was telling you that Tua Tagovailoa was going to dominate. I thought Tua was going to have a good game. I said all those things. If I was pushing, if I was pushing an agenda, I would have came out and said, "No, I think Lamar Jackson is going to dominate Tua." I let the shit play out. I'm trying to be objective, but EM, you got these fucking idiots in this fan base that hear what they want to hear. You're the one that quoted the phrase, EM. We all know how the internet works. Well, you're seeing it right there with that comment. You got fucking idiots that think you're here pushing an agenda when you take it game by game, right? Because how many weeks has it been in a row that I've been praising Tua? But how the fuck do you want me to praise Tua for his performance against Baltimore? How the fuck do you want me to do that?
But it doesn't. That doesn't mean you're
Because
not
our
great. Well,
defense
hold
was
on, Color.
supposed to
Hold on,
hold them
Color.
to 17. That's why.
That doesn't mean that you're going to unnecessarily shit on Tua. You're not giving him any more of the blame than was that is his weight to carry. The entirety of the team has their objective faults and blame in that loss. And Hard Knocks and the Dolphins saw fit to edit, put together, and hide the blame of the offense.
See that
Why?
and again, I agree. There is always a PR game being played
And the PR
at the
game,
NFL,
as you put,
right?
EM, is to protect what? What proprietorship? What?
No.
What?
Screw,
what
screw
value?
your racism.
No,
Screw your racism.
Yeah,
Your mama is racist. Your mama is racist, you hoe. Your mama is racist.
I've always gone
Fuck
so
outta
hard.
here.
That's why I've always gone so hard in the paint for the defense, because if I don't, then this organization will just run with that and continue to blame them for the rest of the time and never get shit right.
Well, you know what I didn't see him blaming on? That's kind of a good change of pace, is the offensive line. But I have seen fans say that now. But they didn't highlight that as the failure.
Cap, I think Lou, Color, Crypto, Greg, I think we're all on the same page in terms of we're in agreement that there was a PR game being played. Where we part ways is as to the reason why, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think y'all are just digging.
I think we are in agreement, though, EM. I think we are in agreement of the reason why. See, because you've mentioned it several times now.
Right, but
you say
I
that
think
there is a reason to protect the image, protect the valuable things.
100%.
The Dolphins have made a clear statement that the thing that they are protecting the most lies with the offense. Now, I'll let you deduce from that who and what it is, but it has shown that that's where their protections are going in because that's what they deem most valuable.
So have y'all known, like in past Hard Knocks, that like let's say for example the Jets, right? If they had the Cardinals from a couple years ago when they had in-season Hard Knocks, did they highlight Kyler Murray's any bad plays that he had over the course of that season?
That wasn't Kyler Murray, I don't think so.
It was Kyler Murray.
Well, even if they're wrong for not, because people need to know he's a trash quarterback.
Well, if they propped up Kyler Murray and puff pieced him, guess what? They bought it hook, line, and sinker all the way to a bad contract and a guy they've been trying to get rid of for fucking 3 years.
But my point is,
pieced his ass all the way up in there, pushed that narrative right onto it.
But my point is, this is the PR game. Y'all are making it player centric. It's PR centric. It's the game that's always been played.
We're PR. I'm in agreement. I don't even want to talk about the player. You mentioned players. I am in agreement that there is hands behind that have agendas. That was the whole point. An agenda being played out, and it's for the offense. So we can agree that it's for the offense, right? I'm in agreement that there is a PR game, as you so eloquently put it. I'm saying that you're in agreement now that there's a PR game obviously being perpetrated through the offense, and Lou is saying that it is solely about Tua. So
well, I just don't think something else. Another area that we part ways in is
this being solely about Tua? Is that where we part ways?
Well, no. Y'all were saying
I'm not
so we're in
saying
agreement
it's
on
solely
that.
on.
Hang on.
I'm not.
I know, but that was your point. That
solely-
was kind of your example, though, Lou.
right, but yeah.
No. See, but again, wrong. No. My point is not for Tua. I started off by saying it was Mike McDaniel because again, Mike McDaniel was brought to Miami for two reasons: fix the offense, fix Tua Tagovailoa, and let's call it for what it is. Let's be objective about this, right? This 30.9 per game narrative that we went into the game with, right? You think that 70-point performance had something to do with that? Because in the last 5 to 6 games, Miami's offense ain't averaging 30. They're not putting up those crazy numbers. They're averaging about 20 points a game. So when people want to make it seem like I'm making this about Tua, no. The puff piece tonight was to cover up that this offense for the past 5 to 6 weeks has been lackluster at best. And who is the front man of that? McDaniel. Does Mike McDaniel is this not Mike Mcdaniel's system?
See, that's why I think you're reaching, bro.
Is Mike McDaniel not the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, 100%.
Why would I not try to cover my ass when my unit, the one I oversee, is not performing at its highest level?
Again, bro.
You know what I can do? I can show the unit that didn't show up though.
No, see, that's where that is where we part ways, bro.
That's where
they did not throw the freaking defense under the bus in this episode of Hard Knocks, bro. No,
I didn't see the episode. I'm gonna have to watch it.
I don't believe that.
Why is it we're 7 episodes in, and this is the episode where Vic Fangio is highlighted? You haven't seen Vic Fangio say a peep, not a word in 6
It could have been the luck of the draw, bro. I don't know. It could have been just luck, pure luck, or could it coincidence?
Again, hey, like I said, you got any beaches for sale in Texas?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. What the fuck are you talking about, Ian?
It could have been. It could have been.
Fuck out of here, Ian. You
stay on his neck now, Lou. I feel like you got Ian backed right in the corner. His answer is it could have been.
No,
don't divert. No, Crypto. Pipe down, Crypto. Pipe down, Crypto.
Fuck all that.
Don't engage in a conversation with
you
Ian
want
right
fluff
now.
pieces, Ian, goddammit.
Yes,
Ian
does,
is out here
Crypto.
perpetuating fluff pieces.
Lou, you got him by the neck, Lou. Force him up on the wall and have your way with him. Go ahead, Lou.
Lewis ain't got shit right now. Y'all motherfuckers are fucking, bro. Y'all are fucking reaching, bro. You mean to tell me, right, a 2-year head coach is purposely, right, a defensive coordinator who they made the highest paid guy in the fucking National Football League, as an accomplished coordinator as Vic Fangio is? You mean to tell me he's purposely throwing this man and trying to make this man, throwing him under the bus and trying to make him out to look like a fucking idiot? That's what you're telling me?
I'm not. Again, I'm not telling you.
No. That's what you're. That's what.
No.
That's what you're telling me.
No. That's where you're wrong. I ain't telling you that. That's what HBO told you.
Nah, bro.
That's what Hard Knocks.
Well, who controls? No.
Right.
Well, who has?
That's your problem, not mine.
Who has control? Who has complete control over what's shown and what's not shown? That would be the head coach, right?
Could be
That'll be the head coach, right?
Going on right
bro,
now.
We don't
know about. You know what I mean?
Y'all gotta stop, bro. Y'all gotta stop this foolishness.
There might be a whole bunch of what the fuck conversations going on right now we don't know about.
Bro, this is fucking ridiculous. Listen,
I'm disappointed in you, Em.
No,
I'm disappointed. I'm
disappointed in all of y'all. This is an all-time low, goddammit. This shit is fucking ridiculous.
Ian, let me advocate real quick. Let me play the other side real quick. There is perhaps one reason that Vic Fangio in his tenure and the fact that he don't give a shit anymore was probably just like told McDaniel, fuck it, just fucking put it all on me. I don't give a fuck.
Lay the lot.
When we've got, you mean to tell me he's gonna purposely piss off? He's
No,
going to purposely piss
he
this man
offered
off when we've
himself
got the playoffs upcoming, division crown on Sunday coming.
I mean,
This
like,
is what
I'm
the
saying he
narrative
fell
y'all are
on
trying
the
to spin
sword
right
like
now.
a good soldier.
No, I'm saying to placate HBO, Fangio may have just said to McDaniel, fuck it. I've heard worse. Put it all on me.
Fangio co-signs it, essentially, EM. Someone was going to take the hit. They sat around the table, and Fangio's like, I'll take the hit this week, boys.
Well, keep in mind, bro. Keep in mind what I think was which is. Hang on. This is what I think is the more likely scenario. I think this was the strategy in terms of Vic Fangio, right? Why bring him on this week? It was because of the magnitude of the fucking football game. All those clips that you saw with Vic Fangio, did you see any more clips after the game? All of that stuff was recorded before they added the clips after the game or during the game. All of those clips you saw from him was recorded beforehand.
That's quite possible, yeah. And
So
like I said,
at the end of the day, why bring him on now was because of what was at stake. This was the most the game was sold
if
as.
Fangio did fall on the sword like that. What do you think about that as a character of the individual for like our team? Because that's taking a huge hit, bro, for the team, man.
Well. Again, bro, why you bring Fangio? It's that this game was sold as the most important game in the last 30 years of the Miami Dolphins, right? We all believed that beforehand. So this would have been, again, we all know what was at stake. The number one seed, right? The division crown. We could have wrapped it up on Sunday. The two best teams in AFC. Why not bring your star defensive coordinator on for this game? Why not do that?
Hey, EM, was the build up to the game Vic Fangio in this defense, or was the build up Tua versus Lamar?
It was more Tua and Lamar.
No.
It was more Tua and Lamar, but it's not.
Thank you. Don't sit here and try to tell me that they highlighted bullshit. Stop. The fact of the matter is, this defense has been playing well for the past 5 to 6 weeks.
They were number 4 in the league going. They were number 4 overall coming to the fucking game.
They never highlighted this defense in any other episode of the Hard Knocks like they did this.
I just said, why do that? Why not bring them on now when the number one seed is at stake, Lewis? Are you fucking kidding me?
Because the build up to the game.
Kidding me right now? You up there spewing this nonsense.
Because the build up to the game, EM, is
this
not
is
Vic
fucking
Fangio
ridiculous.
in this defense. You can say what you want. The build up to the game is 2 MVP fucking candidates, not Vic Fangio and the number 4 ranked defense.
It was
going
the
up
number
against
1
Lamar.
seed at stake. It was both teams, number 1 and number 2 in the fucking AFC. Bro, this is bro, y'all have reached an all-time fucking low tonight. This is fucking ridiculous.
How many posters or pictures or when they promoted the game on ESPN or Fox Sports or any of these big networks, right? How many times when they talked about the Dolphin versus Raven matchup, you seen pictures of Mike McDaniel or Vic Fangio or Tyreek Hill or it was Lamar and Tua plastered everywhere. Those are 2 offensive players.
Nobody said. Nobody.
They didn't show the deficiencies of Tua Tagovailoa in this episode. They showed the puff piece. They showed the 2 touchdowns. They didn't show not one incompletion. They didn't
what
show
the fuck is a company supposed to do? What the fuck is a company? What the fuck is a company supposed to do?
Hey, you're right.
God damn it!
With their figurehead, right?
Tell the truth about everything.
Company is going to put their figurehead, the face of their franchise, in a negative light. Who the fuck does that?
You got me.
That's not necessarily a negative light, Ian. It's just telling the truth about the situation.
Well, they don't need to inflate. Everybody knows what happened on Sunday, bro. There's no need to fan those fucking flames. This shit is fucking ridiculous. Bro, this is ridiculous. I cannot believe I'm fucking hearing this right now. Y'all are fucking reaching, right? Y'all are making this indirectly.
You fail to realize that that's not fanning the flames.
Just stay on it.
On the commercial.
How is that fanning the flames?
Show the ugly pizza on the commercial. Damn it.
I'm disappointed in you, Em.
Nah, bro. Nah, y'all need to stop. Oh, and Terrence, now you came up here last week and you said that we buried the happy. We ain't at war no more. But it's on now, Terrence. God damn it. I'll see you
Step
another
on
day.
his neck, Terrence. Step on
I'll
his
see
neck,
your ass
goddammit.
another day. But anyway, this shit is fucking ridiculous. Y'all are fucking reaching, bro. Y'all are fucking reaching way in that bag. I don't know what y'all are looking for. And again, I want to know. I just want y'all to stand on what the motivation is. That's what I want you to do. Just stand on. If you feel like it's to
There
protect
is
and
no
coddle Tua,
motivation.
if you
There is
feel
no motivation.
if you
There
feel
is no.
like they are protecting and
You're
trying
doing
to
the same
coddle
shit.
Tua,
Yeah,
stand on it.
I know.
Stand
I
on
know.
it. That's all I'm saying.
How many times do I gotta say it? They fucking coddled Tua this episode of Hard Knocks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I've been saying it
Thank
for
you.
I've been
No,
saying it
no,
for 2
you've been
fucking
dancing
hours now.
around it. You've been dancing around like goddamn Gregory Hines. Goddamn it.
Goddamn.
Tap
Gregory
dancing,
Hines,
goddamn it.
Really?
Stop it, EM. These
Just stand
youngins
on
don't know that name, bro.
Fucking
These youngins
bullshit,
don't know
man.
that name, bro. Hey, I seen Gregory Hines in the movie theater, man.
it.
I seen
Thank
him in
you.
person.
That's it. Just stand on it. All of it, bro. Again,
Man, ain't gonna lie, the man can dance, man. Just
and the worst part is this: what I thought, what I heard come out of Lewis's fucking mouth. This man, Mike McDaniel, is purposely when you have a division crown on the line Sunday, you got the postseason coming up. You're gonna purposely throw this man out under the bus and piss him off to make him look like an idiot when you got all this shit in front of you that's at stake. Make that make sense for me. Who the fuck would attempt to do
he's
that?
a professional. He can handle the criticism.
Bro, y'all need to stop it, bro. Y'all need to stop it.
Let me ask you this, EM. There's 17 weeks in the NFL season, correct?
What's that?
There's only 17 weeks in the season.
Absolutely, 100% in the regular season. Yes.
Okay, bet. So it's safe to say that every game, because your ultimate goal is ultimately get into the playoffs, win the division, hopefully make the Super Bowl, right? That's the goal, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're trying to paint the picture that why would Miami, right, throw Vic Fangio under the bus when the importance of the upcoming game? Okay, cool. When we were in week 3, week 4, week 5, and again, you just said every week is important. Do you remember Vic Fangio telling everybody in the national media that he didn't have the right players, that we didn't have enough? He was throwing his players under the bus. He didn't give a fuck because none of that shit you're trying to view matters. What matters is again, you don't understand? When he said, no, my linebackers ain't playing well, when the defense ain't playing well, I'm not changing up shit. We're going to do things my way or the highway. You don't think he was upsetting people? You're trying to paint the picture. We can't upset Vic Fangio because, it's an important game and everybody has to be on the same page. You think those players liked when Vic Fangio said they were playing like dog shit?
When was that, in training camp? Was that in training camp or was that week 15?
That was during the season.
When did he say that? When was that? When was that? What week was that? Because I don't remember Fangio. I do not remember. I do not remember Fangio criticizing his defense to that level because there was no need to because they've been playing well, bro.
Well, if I am allowed to quote as much as I can what Fangio said, so we can all take it into whatever context we want to. He said, "I have to find the talent on the defense."
And he said that in fucking training camp.
But he wasn't disproving the idea that finding that talent meant outside the building. He just said he needed to find.
He said that in fucking training camp.
Yeah.
In training camp.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
In week 4, when he decided to have Kader Kohu shadow Stephon Diggs, right? And you had players like Xavier Howard coming out and say, I really wanted to have that matchup, right? And then Vic Fangio, a couple of days after in his presser said, I don't care about none of that. Basically, essentially, that's what he said. We're going to do things my way. I don't think I should have changed anything. I wouldn't have changed anything. You don't think that's taking a shot at Xavier Howard?
So what does that got to do with Mike McDaniel purposely throwing his?
Again, you trying
what
to
does that
paint
have
the
to
picture,
do with that?
You're trying to paint the picture. Don't upset the apple cart, right? Why would you upset Vic Fangio, right? When the importance of the next game. Well, when he upset Xavier Howard, right? Xavier Howard has more games to play, right? You don't want to upset the apple cart, but Vic Fangio don't care because none of that shit you're trying to say matters. What matters is Vic Fangio has his unit. Mike McDaniel has his unit. Neither one of those units showed up. Funny to me, though. It's funny to me, though, that the unit that took more of the brunt of the blame in the episode of Hard Knocks is the unit where Tua is on, Mike McDaniel's on, Tyreek Hill's on, the leader in chief of the franchise, right? Mike McDaniel. We can't make him look bad. We can't make the offense look bad, but when we wake up in the morning, we'll put it on Twitter that the Miami Dolphins are the number 1 team in the league in scoring at 30.9 points per game, but they're not doing their fucking job the last 6 weeks of the season. But
they didn't mention the defense on Hard Knock tonight. Their rankings tonight. They didn't do that. You didn't hear him do that. You didn't hear him do that. You didn't hear him say that. I'm asking you a simple question, yes or no. Did you not hear them highlight where their rankings were this year? Did you not hear them say that?
Like you said 10
Well,
minutes ago.
there again, that just points further to the disparity of them not showing how we went from 28 points to 56 without our offense taking the field.
You are reaching. You're reaching. But go ahead.
Like you said 10 minutes ago, out of respect that I have for you, because you my brother. That's the same way I look at you. You and I want to say the other word for this fucking idiot that thinks I'm a racist. I really want to say the other word, but I'm not. But you my dude. You know that. I respectfully disagree with this bullshit you trying to feed. I think, again, I might be reaching, but you living in this fantasy land where everything is peaches and cream right now. The world don't work. The world don't work like that. Bro, again, it seemed tonight that people were scapegoated in a certain situation. It is what it is. They were scapegoated.
First off, let's stay on topic here. Me living in a world where it's peaches and cream and shit, that comment, that ain't got nothing to do with what transpired. I have no problem with lighting any of these players, coaches, owners, etc., on fire when I think it's warranted, right? I think, again, because remember, I'm going to say it, goddammit. Cap, cover your ears. Color, cover your goddamn ears. Everybody in the chat that ain't black, cover your goddamn ears.
Uh-oh.
I'm the nigga that was on that island first in the fucking community in 2020, right? Being critical of Tua. I was, before it was in vogue, before it was quote-unquote popular. So get the fuck out of here with that nonsense about I am not willing to be critical when warranted. Because that's essentially what you're saying right now with this peaches and cream bullshit.
Wrong. I didn't say you weren't willing.
I
didn't say wrong. I didn't say you weren't willing. I've heard you criticize. What I'm saying is today, in this particular situation, you are being naive to the situation and just telling people
I'm calling it how I see it.
That's where you're
wrong. Calling it. I'm calling it how I see it.
He was the first one to criticize.
So what's the difference?
Lewis, is EM remaining objective?
135%.
It's subjective. Okay. Yeah, use the wrong word.
So why?
Damn,
so why
crypto. Damn.
So why
Hype
is
up, crypto.
Why is it that I'm not being objective though, but I'm reaching?
Because again,
that's your opinion. That's your opinion. I'm reaching.
You dropped again, right? You dropped a text privately. They did not show They didn't show any of those interceptions. I wonder why. Well, again, you self-admittedly said it's about Tua. You just admitted twice. It's about the player. All I said was, if you feel that way, stand on it. Don't dance around like you Gregory Hines. That's all I'm saying. Have dancing around the issue.
I think Mike McDaniel was responsible for the second interception, but that's
I also not say about Chase Claypool dropping the ball? Yes or no? think so. Right. Because the fact of the matter is
No.
people
Well, you
want
asked.
to hear.
I didn't hear you. You were cutting in. I didn't hear you. What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Did I also not bring up the fact of Chase Claypool? Did I not bring that up?
I mean, I didn't hear you say it, but if you say you did, I'm gonna take your word for it.
He did.
Okay, so the problem is people want to be in their feelings and hear what they want to hear. All they hear is Tua. I keep saying it. Tua is an offensive player, and they barely showed in this episode of Hard Knocks any of the bad plays or any of the negative plays on offense. That's not a Tua thing. That is a McDaniel, Claypool, Tyreek, Tua, A-Chain, whoever it is. The offensive unit was barely showed today, and highlighted was the defense. The defense, when they're, again, sitting at a table, telling everybody, man, it's so easy now. This defense, it's once you get it, we got it. We're understanding. We're playing free, right? And that they show all that to highlight, man, they getting their ass kicked up here. You see what I'm saying? That's what there was a
and again, in my opinion, you're fucking reaching. In my opinion,
even on the 3-point drive, they highlighted the big third down conversion to Tyreek, and then all of a sudden we're kicking a field goal. Like, what happened in between?
Again, I think you all are fucking reaching. I think it's a PR. Every business is going to take this approach to try to put and paint their.
All I know is I wish we could break down the fucking Hard Knocks live, like the Zapruder film.
Pull it up, Cap.
It would be
Pull
great.
it up.
Nah, they'll literally shut everything down forever with that.
Man, we can't do it.
You can't even play. Man. Listen, you're playing with the NFL and HBO,
bro.
They might kick my door in.
Again, respectfully, y'all can have y'all opinion. If this is you guys' opinion, salute. But to sit here and insinuate that this man is throwing at Vic Fangio of all coordinators under the fucking bus.
One other thing,
I did push back on that.
I also think
I think
it's quite ungrateful of the bastards that we can.
He's giving them ammunition,
for them all night.
He's giving people ammunition to go after Fangio unnecessarily.
So I gotta.
Welcome,
I'll say this about the Fangio throwing under the bus thing. I don't think Mike McDaniel, who was Fangio's his pick, if you want to be real. I know it's Chris Creer's job and gets him and does all that, but that was his guy he wanted. It was, we heard the rumors beforehand. We know that's his pick. I don't really think it's throwing Fangio under the bus as much as I like what Color said, that maybe Fangio volunteered to fall on the sword. The thing of it is that say Fangio fell on the sword, for lack of a better argument, then why though? Like, what are we doing?
I don't think there was no sword to fall on, bro.
Hold on. Is that 100 ante?
It is.
Holy where the hell have you been, man? Damn.
He's popped in here and there. I've seen him.
Year, bro. What are you talking about?
I've seen him creeping.
Hey. So Mike McDaniel can't say nothing to Vic Fangio because they're buddies. Is that what I just heard?
No,
it's not.
Because that's not fucking good business
can't conceive
to trash your coordinator
Vic Fangio
publicly
is in a situation where the PR
team. No. Let Ian bury himself. Ian, say
it's not good fucking business to bash and quote unquote throw your coordinator under the bus when it's not warranted. This defense has been one of the top fucking units in the NFL, bro. What is the motivation? Why would Mike McDaniel fucking do that?
Let me get you the shovel, because I heard what Ian just said, and he did just bury his fucking self. Go ahead,
bring
Lou.
the shovel out.
You fucking bury.
You can fucking try. You can try, but go ahead. Let him go ahead. Let him get it out.
Can you say it one more time? Hold on,
Lou.
Can
ahead.
you say it one more time for the people in the back? One more time. I just got to hear it one more time. Exactly
what I said was, it is not fucking good business to trash a coordinator, right? As accomplished as fucking Vic Fangio is in this league, when it's not warranted, when your unit is performing in the top 10 virtually the whole fucking year. Who the fuck would do that?
Well, now you just changed. You just changed what you said.
No,
He
that's
did.
exactly
He
what I
did.
said.
He put emphasis. Yeah, he did.
Hey, I didn't cut you off.
Fire your head coach and slander him when he's brought you to
Well,
winning
Color, hold on,
seasons.
Color. Hold on, Color.
Hold on, Color. EM, this last time you said it, the third time, you know where I'm about to go. So you said,
yes, he does.
An accomplished defensive coordinator. That's what the words you just said. You didn't say that the first two times.
What I said was, hang on.
Yeah,
No.
I didn't interrupt
Hang on. Let me correct you on what I said. If you're listening, right? You motherfuckers don't listen, right? I tell y'all all the time, if you close your mouth and listen, you will learn. What I said was, right? It's not good business for a head coach to throw his coordinator under the bus when it's not warranted. That's what I said, bro.
Hold on a second.
well,
Hold up. I'm gonna bring up the fucking tape, Lou. Fuck what he said. He said. I'm bringing up the tape.
Pull it up. Pull it up, goddammit.
I'm pulling it up. Fuck this. We are watching the show from 2 minutes ago. Let's do this. Hold on. They'll literally shut everything down forever with that.
Man, we can't do it.
Can't even play. Listen, you're playing with the NFL and HBO. I'll say this about the Fangio throwing under the bus thing. I don't think Mike McDaniel, who was Fangio's damn, how far back was this bitch?
He can bury himself.
It's not good fucking business to bash and quote unquote throw your coordinator under the bus when it's not. What happened? What did you clip that out? You clipped that out, right? Is that what you did? You clipped that out, Cap, on purpose? What the fuck happened?
I think Cap froze.
No.
Either way.
He bullshit. I know what the fuck I said. I know exactly what the fuck I said. But go ahead.
Hold on.
I know what the fuck I said. Go ahead.
Hold on. The EM said, right? It's not good business for a coach to throw the defensive coordinator under the bus. That's essentially
when
what you
it's
said.
Not warranted.
And it's not warranted. Cool. I watched a first-year head coach last year on the sidelines in a Sunday night game against the Los Angeles
Was
Chargers.
our defense ranked fourth overall?
Hold on.
Was our defense ranked fourth overall in the top 10 at all last year?
I did not interrupt you.
Okay, but go ahead.
I didn't interrupt you not once.
Go ahead.
On a Sunday night football game, where the final score was 23-17, never got out of hand, right? It wasn't warranted. But Mike McDaniel had no problem throwing his defensive coordinator under the bus when everybody was watching to say, you better get this shit corrected. You better figure this fucking shit out.
I asked you again. Because again, I'm not like you fucking casuals. I evaluate
hold up real quick.
When you're talking about evaluation, hang on. How many times have y'all heard me say, right? Casuals, right? They don't evaluate the complete body of work. They have knee-jerk reactions off one game, one play, et cetera, et cetera. I'm coming from the perspective, I'm evaluating the complete body of work of the 2023 season, right? This defense for the better part of this year has been in the top 10, was going into this game fourth ranked overall. Now, I pose the question to you, Lewis, at what fucking point was Josh Boyer's defense ranked fourth overall at any stretch last year?
Alls I know,
Josh Boyer's defense didn't play a collage with a bunch of backup quarterbacks and trash offensive lines.
Alls I know, Lou, before you answer, is that it is now confirmed that EM is the ops.
Josh Boyer defense didn't have the opportunity because they didn't play the
My question still hasn't been answered yet.
Motherfucking ops. I got you.
My question.
You shut down my shit when I was trying to prove my fucking point. I knew it was you all along. You're busted. This motherfucker's the ops. 5-0 in the house. Watch the fuck out.
My question still has not been answered. So this is why I'm saying, right? As accomplished, and I'm just primarily coming from a 2023 perspective, right? And on top of that, you got a division crown on Sunday that you need that defensive coordinator to be focused 100% of his efforts on. And on top of that, the postseason.
Yeah, that same defensive coordinator that gave up 48
Mike
points to the same guy we playing this
to
upcoming
throw him
week.
under the fucking bus. Make that make fucking sense.
I'll make it make sense, but y'all ain't gonna like it.
Get his ass, Lou. Get his ass, Lou.
Y'all just don't like it. Y'all just don't want to hear it. They'll throw anybody in this organization under the bus to say Tua.
Well, at least I'm glad you're standing on. There we go again. There go that Tua hate coming. There go that Tua hate coming.
Call it what you want. Call it what you want.
There go that Tua hate coming. See, I love this.
Call it what you want.
What I always say. I see Bane coming, right? What do I always say? I can deal with Bane all day. It's Harvey Two-Face is the one that always gets you. So now, but I'm glad. I just want you to stand on it. I just want you to stand on it.
If that's how you feel that I'm playing Harvey Two-Face, then that's fine. I thought that's
no. What I mean by that is you tap dancing around the issue that you have.
Nobody tap dancing. I don't know. Again, you know what? Y'all, you're right. Cool. If you want to play the game and we want to be fluff about it, cool. Hey, you played well. There were some throws maybe he could have made better, but it's okay. Don't worry, we'll get him next time. I'm sure Christian Wilkins will go and smack Tua across the ass, pat him on the head, give him a little kiss, and tell him it's gonna be okay. It's all good. We can play the fluff game if you want. I mean, that's cool. I get it.
This is not about playing the fluff game, bro. The point you're trying to make about Mike McDaniel purposely throwing this man on the buff is just ridiculous. It is what it is. Cap, you too. You co-signed it. This is fucking ridiculous.
I didn't co-sign shit. First of all,
you co-signed everything. Lewis, everything came out of his mouth tonight.
First of all, I will always stand with Lou and his ability to say whatever the fuck he wants. He can feel
again.
You
co-signed it.
It's you.
You co-signed that foolishness.
Shit. First of all, I co-sign anything and everything I want to. I co-sign everybody's bullshit. How about that, EM? Even your bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Call it what you want.
Yeah.
Hey. But that at the end of the day, respectfully.
Hey, EM. Hey, EM. Like these fucking casuals in the chat, EM. Do you believe I'm a Tua hater?
No. I don't. This is what I honestly believe. And again, you asking me this publicly, right? I would rather have that conversation privately.
No. We don't have to have nothing privately.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna give you.
Do you think I'm a Tua hater? Yes or no?
I would rather, for the record, have that conversation privately. But since you are insisting upon initiating this conversation publicly, I don't think you're a hater. What I think is, you still have a level of reservation.
Call him
with
a
Tua.
Non-believer. You know you want to call him a
well,
non-believer.
call him. Okay, you want to say non-believer? Call it non. I just don't think you're completely sold on him.
Non-believer. Go ahead.
I don't think Lewis is complete. And again, I'm not knocking you for that. If you do, all I'm saying is just stand on it. That's all. And anybody, whether you're a Tua hater, you a member of Tua non, or you a Tua hater, at least stand on it. That's all I want you to do.
I will right now. I will say
what I'm standing on is being objective. I'm not standing on hate
No, that's not objectivity. It's not objectivity when, hang on, Color, real quick. It's not objectivity when an issue comes up and people, and I'm not just singling you out right now, I'm addressing, everybody, right? Everyone that takes his position. When something comes up, right, you immediately assume the negative. Like that text you dropped in why the fuck would you think automatically come to the conclusion, right, that the organization is in a position where they have to fucking coddle Tua? Why would you automatically? Why? Because
they've only done it.
That was a rhetorical question. That was a rhetorical question. Hang on.
What do you mean? Why would I think that? They've only done it for 3 fucking years.
Okay, again, my point. That validates my point. Right? That was a rhetorical question. Hang on. I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond. So why would you take that position? Because at one point you agreed right? That at one point when you had a less favorable opinion about Tua, you had that position. I think there's still residue of a lot of those negative feelings about Tua that you still harbor.
You didn't complete the cleanse, Lewis. You got to complete the cleanse for the purification.
I don't know how many times. No, I'm gonna stop you right there. 6 fucking weeks ago, I was in this bitch talking about we should go to the table right now and sign Tua Tagovailoa. I said Tua has passed every fucking test for me that is known to fucking man from a quarterback position. I don't care about can he make all the throws. I know he can. I'm not worried about Tua getting injured no more because I haven't seen it. He's passed every test. I cannot believe what you're doing right now, EM, trying to placate to these fucking idiots in the chat.
I'm not trying to do that.
What Tua needs to do is win fucking games that matter. And every time he has the opportunity to, the fucking kid
I'm not trying to do that, Lou. That's not my position right now, bro. You asked me a question, and I was interrupted. I didn't even finish my point, first and foremost, right? So since you keep bringing up private conversations, right? And again, I'm not saying I didn't label you as a hater. I just think you are not 100% sold on Tua, which you shouldn't be. That's fine. I'm not knocking. I've never knocked you for that. But I do think because of the positions that you take, private conversations that we have about Tua, we just had one today, bro, right? Where you said what you said about, I'm not going to reveal that information, but you know what you said. We was all not trolling, but we were all laughing and talking about it, right? You know what we was trolling the shit at you about earlier. You know that.
What did I say? What did I say?
No, I ain't going to put that out there. You know what you said.
What did I say?
You know what you said.
Because you're
I'm going to let you do it. You put it out there.
No. Bro, we talked all kinds of times today. I don't know what the fuck I said. Tell me what I said, because you said that I'm not, again, being 10 toes down, right? I'm trying to hide. Well, put it out there. What did I say so I can be 10 toes on it? I don't give a fuck. I'm not hiding from nobody. Not nobody in this panel. Not nobody in this goddamn chat. I don't hold my tongue for nobody. I can praise Tua and give him all the credit in the world when he deserves it. After Sunday's performance, I don't give a fuck about PFF grades. I don't give a fuck about QBR ratings.
You should.
I don't give a fuck that he
You should,
okay,
though.
cool. Again, PFF grades don't win games. QBR don't win games.
What do you mean? So you mean to tell me if a quarterback is playing well, that don't enhance your chances of winning football games? Is what you're telling me?
I didn't use the word enhance. What I said was it don't win games.
Yeah, but that's like 90. That's like if a quarterback generally plays well, right? If a quarterback generally plays well, it puts you like in a 90 percentile chance, a better chance to win a fucking football game.
This QBR was 49. That ain't gonna win you no ball games.
Well, again, I'm talking about overall. He said he didn't give a fuck about numbers, period, is what he said. And I'm like, you should. Everybody should. That's how you evaluate. That's part of the evaluation.
I'm saying I agree with you.
EM, look at the comment. Right here. Now I get called a casual, right? Lewis is a weak boy. Tua leads the NFL in all major QB statistics or a top 5 quarterback in stats. And Lewis is a Tua hater and non-believer. Cool. Hold on. I can agree with everything that was said in that statement. Let me ask you a question, EM. Did Tua, the top 5 quarterback leading in all quarterback stats, did that quarterback show up in Baltimore on Sunday?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't.
What the fuck is EM a hater? And that's why I get called a hater, because I agree Tua has played at a top 5 quarterback level, right? He did everything this idiot in the chat just executed. But on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock in M&T fucking Stadium in Baltimore, that quarterback that highlights this comment right here, that quarterback didn't show up. So that makes me a hater? No, that makes your fucking quarterback the one that didn't show up in the game, not what you're trying to tell me he is. In the biggest moments.
But see,
that's what that says. Not me being a hater.
But look at this other fucking idiot. Look at this darkness idiot. EM is a tourineur, right? He lives and says he's objective, but he just live into his jock. See what I'm saying? It goes both ways. It goes both ways. It's like you have to pick a side. You either gonna 100% think that everything Tua does is perfect, or if you're on the other side of the fence and you're being critical of Tua, you're a fucking hater.
So, but that's my problem right there,
It's
dude.
fucking ridiculous.
This didn't need to be the point of conversation. The Hard Knocks thing is firing that by doing what they did.
I disagree with that.
We disagree, but here we are
that.
in this debate about what's going on. So I would completely present the 2 hours of 40-minute conversation as evidence of the contrary, because the reality is that you're saying it's one thing or the other, and I'm saying that I don't think it was any of that anymore. They're now they're reigniting it. I don't think anyone was talking about after
whether
the
we
loss.
have this show tonight or not, that this wouldn't have been the whole conversation on Twitter.
Are you kidding me?
Tomorrow.
This is the conversation completely everywhere after this, dude. It's
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't think,
and it doesn't have to be
if
shitting
this
on Tua
show,
because I pointed out that the Hard Knocks episode left the blame that was squarely on the offense out of the episode and made sure to do the rest of the episode accordingly.
I do not believe that a lot of people would be discussing this topic if y'all hadn't done this show tonight. I truly believe that. There might have been a one or two here and there, but as a whole, no.
I don't think on Twitter, EM.
I don't think. I really don't think that. Again, you got portion of the fan base that are reaching for any and everything, right? No matter what side of the fence you on. But I don't think. You all's opinion is you all's opinion, but we just gotta. I gotta emphatically disagree with you all's. I think y'all are reaching, bro. I just do. I just think it was a PR game. The Vic Fangio narrative is fucking ridiculous, right? I think you did not see any more interviews with Vic Fangio on Hard Knocks after the game, right? All that shit is pre-recorded. And then once the game happens, they come back and edit and add the footage in an issue in whatever transpired during the game. They add that to the program. That's how the production of the show is structured.
But I think just the weird thing is that, okay, we saw, here's where I say we're getting Mandela affected. Lewis is 100% right. Leading up to the Baltimore game, it was Tua, Lamar, MVP. If the Dolphins won this game, it would be Tua. The whole episode of Hard Knocks would have been after the victory and showing all the stuff and talking about MVP stuff. And obviously so, because that's where we would live in that dimension. But my point of it is that they decided not to show this part, and it's creating a narrative that wasn't there to counterbalance one that they've created. You understand what I'm saying? It's a slippery slope, and I don't understand the necessity of it. They started with one talking about Tua versus Jackson, and then they switched it as if the narrative the whole time was the defense versus Jackson, and completely whitewashed any of the offense's involvement in a loss. Yeah, they're still showing some of the stuff, but it was
that Mike McDaniel instructed Hard Knocks to focus everything on the fucking defense.
I told Lou earlier when in the beginning of the episode, he needs to go back and watch the very beginning of this episode because cooler heads were prevailing,
Lou,
and we kind of
he throwing you on the bus, Lou.
I told
he
Lou right away.
Ship,
I said, Lou, listen, no.
He
I said,
abandoning
Lou, right
ship right
Lewis
now.
Will contest, and I said, Lou, I seriously doubt that Mike McDaniel's taking a guy that he wants to be brought in Vic Fangio and throwing him under the bus. Now,
that man is abandoning ship right now. That man said, "Oh hell no! Let me get the fuck up off this boat."
I did say that. I was like, I don't
somebody
think so.
Somebody throw me a life preserver, goddammit, because I'm about to get off this goddamn boat.
I told him
right
this in
now.
the beginning of the show. I liked what Shake said right after. Shake was he had an awesome take. He goes, maybe they're teeing him up to be fired because they know that they're going to hire Saleh as his replacement. And I mean, look, it was just a fun exercise. We were just going in hypotheticals. Really, the root of what I was questioning in the episode.
Oh, they got his ass again. Goddamn.
Was why when
they got his ass again.
What do you mean?
They
Can
like
you not see me?
you froze again. You froze
Oh,
again.
I did. Well, my dog.
Thank
just
the
walked
Lord.
over my
Goddamn it.
shit. My dog just walked over.
Thank you, Lord.
No. Why?
And they
I'm
say
asking
prayer don't
again,
work. And they
why
say
did
prayer
they
don't
do
work.
This? Why did they present this episode in this structure? What was the point of it? Was it to start this conversation? Because this was not the conversation that was happening. You understand? Dog, stop it, dude. It's fucking around.
Well, I don't really care about none of that, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
See, now Lou's got a whole different thing going now.
because it just fucking pisses me off, Cat. Right? And again, the people, well, that one idiot, yeah, I can't stand that fucking idiot. But H is a good dude. I fuck with H. This is another guy I respect in this community. But right here, this is the bullshit that just pisses me off. Y'all are creating a narrative. Okay, cool. I'm going to admit, maybe I am trying to create a narrative. I don't believe I am, but I'll play this game with you. But the only reason people are bringing it up now that we're trying to create a narrative, see, again, it's only on TFTG, right? This network, we try to create narratives. Or a TD channel, right? Where TD is trying to create a narrative. But if I go on,
TD don't try to create narratives. Lou,
I'm not here to debate whether he does.
TD don't try to create narratives, Lou.
EM, I'm not trying to sit here and debate if he does or he doesn't.
Okay.
Listen to the point.
I know right where he's going.
Listen to the point. The fact is, though, when TFTG is, let's say again, what they say about us is we're negative. We're creating a narrative. When TD fires up a stream or whatever, he's trying to create a narrative. Cool. We can accept that. But these fucking hypocrites won't tell you that if you go to any other YouTube channel, though, and you see titles of shows, Tua Tagovailoa is cooking. Tua Tagovailoa is the MVP. Tua Tagovailoa was seen at the local hot dog stand, and he put down 8 hot dogs. They're creating
McDaniel play that's breaking the league.
McDaniel is a genius, right? They're creating narratives, but nobody gives a fuck about those narratives. You know why? Because the narratives is what they want to hear. It's the same shit. So how can you call out one fucking pure person for creating a narrative? Because they want, for a person like me that wants to believe something. What I've seen in the today on the show, right?
You see that comment, right? Oh shit, Q. No, I didn't go there. Oh shit.
And see, hold on. I got to interject here.
Oh
I've
shit.
been quiet.
No, he didn't.
Okay, I got to interject here because it don't matter what the name of the other show is. That's not what Lewis is saying.
Bro. Again,
why does one take a hit and not the other?
Put a goddamn name on it.
No matter who the fuck
I need a name on it.
Oh, okay. I'll put a name.
Well, let me address before you get to that, Lou.
I ain't got no problem. And people want to think I'm gonna throw a name. I'll throw out a name. How about Dolphin Talk? How about that platform on Dolphin Talk, where everybody on that channel either has aspirations to be fans of the year or they have been fans of the fucking year? How about that? Yeah, do you like the narratives that they create over there on Dolphin Talk? Because I don't see none of these fucking idiots, these fucking casuals over there telling them they're creating fucking narratives. I don't see none of that shit over there. You know why? Because more than half of these fucking sorry motherfuckers in this chat are fucking cucks, just like the rest of them. So if you want to be that, then you'll be that. But this motherfucker right here, this Cuban motherfucker, I ain't gonna be one of them fucking dick riders. Fuck all y'all. I don't give a fuck about none of this.
Hey, check this out. Let me circle back to Lou's comment about creating narratives, right? there's some truth to what you said about everybody creates narratives, right? That's a fact. We all know the nature of the internet. If you're a content creator, if you're a quote unquote influencer, whatever you want to call it, we all create narratives based on our truth. However, here's where it gets muggy and where people, I think, me specifically, where I have an issue with a person trying to create a narrative. If they are trying to create a narrative, their own narrative, right? You better have some facts, something factual to back and to validate that narrative, right? And again, you brought up TD. I'm going to bring up TD again. Well, again, you brought up TD. And Lewis, you've been on a conversation with me and TD. So you know 100% this is nothing I have not told to that man's face. So before his minions go running back and tell TD, oh, EM got his name. This is something I've already told him several times. We've had this conversation. You know that. I know that. So with
Tread
that being
lightly,
said,
EM. Tread lightly, goddammit.
So with that being said, right, you got to have facts, bro. Like and I see it not just with TD. TD created this narrative, and a lot of our fan base hop right on it. The spot throwing narrative, right? Again, you remember, and again, not to reveal the private conversation, but again, I'm trying to, this goes along with proving my point about the narrative creation, right? Have facts to validate what your narrative is. The whole spot throwing narrative that was brought up by TD, initiated by TD, right? But he was, as well as people in the fan base, were trying to sell that as a narrative, right? Saying that a quote unquote spot throwing quarterback is a negative thing, right? When all quarterbacks are taught to throw to spots. I've heard Louis Riddick validate that. I've heard Dan Orlovsky validate that. I've heard JT O'Sullivan on Reason Show, he's the owner of Quarterback Film School on YouTube, arguably is definitely one of the biggest channels on fucking YouTube, right? They've all validated that narrative. So the point that I'm trying to make is, don't have a problem with the narrative creation. Just have something in facts to validate why you are trying to create that narrative.
Let me be very clear. All that you just said, I completely agree with, but that wasn't my point. My point was very fucking simple. Let's say, for the sake of argument, because everybody in the chat has a problem with the narrative that I guess TFTG creates, and that's fine. That is your opinion. If you want to say that TD is creating narratives, I don't give two flying fucks. I'm not here to protect TD. I could care less. Go and kill him on every fucking episode he ever fucking does. I'm not saying that he doesn't create narratives. What I'm saying is the people that only bring up, well, you guys are creating narratives, are when there's a negative connotation to the narrative, right? No matter if it's true or not, people just don't want to hear it. Because Dolphin talk, like I said, the people that work over there, they will tell you everything is fine. They will sit there and tell you that if someone farts next to you, if it's a Dolphin player, the fart smells like roses. And that's creating a narrative. That's not being truthful. That's not saying everything you just said, Ian, have some facts behind it. I've been over there and I've listened. They're not speaking facts, but none of these fucking idiots are over there telling them, well, you guys are creating a narrative. You know why? Because they want the fluff. They just want it. And I'm not built like that.
Wait a minute, though. But here's the thing.
Wait.
What about the narrative? What about the narrative?
Is that the homie in the chat right now? Is that Reason in the chat? Drop that goddamn link, Cap.
But EM, what about
the
narrative?
Drop that link.
What about the narrative that I used facts to create last year off season, that Tyreek was the second highest production receiver in the league, and Jalen Waddle was 10th, and Tua was 9th most productive quarterback? Where was the thousands of people giving me accolades for the work I did creating that narrative? That was
I hear you, Carla. I hear you. What's up, Cap?
I still get shit on to this day as a hater, bro.
Yeah, hey man. Again, we've all experienced all of that. No matter, again, they come at us all, bro.
I'm just saying,
they come at us all. Like
it's true, but
Cap, Lou, you, myself,
everybody catches their slings and arrow.
100%.
the narrative would be just fine if it was all peaches and cream, bro. That's all Lewis is trying to say.
And I agree with Lewis 100%. You know, I don't subscribe to that, bro. Like, I've been on, no matter, again, we can troll all day, but I like to pride myself on being my message. No matter what platform that I go on, it could be Finside the NFL, it could be The Gate, it could be TD Foolish Talk, it could be, you know, on Twitter, Spaces, etc. What I like to pride myself on is my message being consistent, right? 110%. And again, the receipts are out there. You can sneak. But
look at this. Look at this fucking idiot. Look at this fucking idiot right here, though. EM. See, it's the same shit. The same dude that's going after me. Look, Reason pays panelists to bash Tua for him. Why would he have to do that when I specifically, and let me be very clear,
what the fuck?
I've spoken to Reason on the phone where he's criticized Tua and bashed Tua. I've seen him be critical of Tua on the platform. I'm not saying that. I don't care about being objective. I've seen multiple people be objective. Just like Reason has bashed Tua or criticized Tua, I've seen
said his name 3 times.
Reason got to pull up, goddammit. Reason, you in the chat. Pull up. They dropped the link.
There. He said his name 3 times. He popped up.
That's what's up.
But what I'm trying to say, though,
panelists, goddamn.
Reason don't got to pay panelists because I've seen him criticize. But in the same token, I've also seen Color. I've also seen Color and Cat, right, and myself praise Tua. But these people don't hear when we praise. They only hear when we want to criticize, right? Now we're the haters again. Bro, stop. It's bullshit.
Hey,
everybody out here, no matter what your objective is, bro, everybody pushes an agenda. But the only problem is that there's a problem when the agenda is when you're criticizing, not when you're being fluffed. And I'm not going to stand for it, bro. I'm not going to keep doing this bullshit back and forth.
But that's the game, bro. I had fucking, and Reason can attest to this, right? On Finside the NFL, right? A show that me and him I helped him create. We were a tandem at that point. When I started, you didn't. Now again, I had haters from the jump, right? I will acknowledge that. But you know, everybody knows pre-draft 2020 who like had a more favorable opinion of Tua. That would be Reason and myself, right? So when we created Finside the NFL, again, we drafted Tua. A lot of that carried over to the platform. So when I started to publicly just highlight areas of concern about Tua's game, never killing him, never made it personal, never, tried to, bring up his family, none of that, never made it personal. It was all about, from a film-based perspective, these are areas that concern me. Bro, that whole 80% of that goddamn platform turned on me, bro. To the point of, and Reason will tell you, I told Reason, because Reason was like, bro, how come you ain't coming up on the platform or whatever? Why are you so distant?
He was shook.
I told him straight up, okay.
That's 2 times you got buried.
Oh, shit.
You got buried tonight,
Reason, stop that. Don't do that, bro. So at the end of the day, what did I tell you, Reason? I told you, I said, out of respect.
Hey, salute, Reason.
Yeah.
Salute.
No, out of respect, I don't want to go off on the
110%. I don't want to bring that negative energy towards the platform is what I told him.
But hold on, we used to talk about this on Larry's show, and what the confusing thing about it was, I would relay the same exact messages, but no one. I didn't get any pushback. I mean, like, look at this. Like, everyone last year knew I thought Tua, in their sample sizes, I thought Tua was way better than Lamar last year, and look at what I said on Sunday. Like I said, Lamar played like an MVP. Tua didn't.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. And Reason, you are sitting right up here on this fucking panel. This is nothing that I haven't told you to your face on the thousands of conversations that we've had. I think the reason why, right, the pushback was so severe with me is, again, because I was the one out front first in terms of the critique. Publicly.
I've always said this. I think it's the way you conveyed your messages.
I think it was all of that, bro. It was already above.
You did tell me that early on as a point of advice as well. So I have to give you credit for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
So hey,
I thought it was more so like if you look at
told
it,
me that you thought that was your opinion, that some people bring it a different way, and as such are allowed to critique it where others aren't because of how they bring it.
But when I would, that's the thing. Like I would even with every player, you can have look at, perfect example. Everyone knows how I felt about Jerome Baker since we started doing this in 2019. Me and EM have shared the pretty much. But do you ever see me bury the kid? You never hear me. Everyone knows I'm not a fan of Jerome Baker, but you never hear me bury the kid. And when he plays good, I give him his props. Like I don't bury the kid. It's I don't know. I mean, even it's just about how you convey it to a certain extent. If you're gonna, people there's a time to be aggressive and charismatic and pop off, and there's another time to where, you got to tuck them in and lay them on the pillow and, tell them a bedtime story, but still convey the message. I'm talking about there's a time to be with pause, a harder way and a lighter way, right? And
I'm glad you brought that up, because again, that is where we part ways. Because again, my delivery, I pride myself on being consistent no matter what arena that I'm in, right?
Well, that's nothing to do about consistency. I think it was, you had a portion of the fan base who they didn't want to hear it, so you had to convey it in a way that they could accept it and put it on the table. If you were aggressive with it and over the top with it, they were going to turn it away because they didn't want to hear it. So if you have children, if you're gonna have to tell children something they don't want to hear, whether they can't have a treat tonight, whatever the case may be, I mean, you got to find the most, I'm not saying say delicate, but you got to find a way to convey it where you're not going to have a meltdown, right?
But real talk, bro. Like my message in terms of my critique about Tua was never aggressive. I would only get aggressive when these idiots would tell me that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right?
That is when the aggression would come.
Well, how many times? Well, do you remember those days? I mean, crypto was around in those days. I don't know who else was here around in those days, but how many times did you be told up there, don't watch the chat? Remember? Because you'd start going on. Dude, if you start calling everyone in the chat idiots and then you try to convey something. If you start calling everyone in the chat idiots and then you try to convey something to them they don't want to hear, chances are it's probably going to fall upon deaf ears.
I agree 100%. But again, I never initiate the aggression.
Well, I would come up here I'd come up here and defend you because I would tell all the time, I agree with what he's saying. He's not wrong. Watch the film. It's there.
And again, you don't have two and non-works, right? If they deem anything that you're saying is contradictory to their opinion of Tua,
right?
they are some of the most disrespectful idiots in the fan base.
So the Tua haters.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah, you're right, 100%. It goes both ways.
Day one, I've said this, and people call me a Tua near or whatever, but I've said since day one, I got no time for the Tua lovers, and I got no time for the Tua haters. I'm here for the Tua believers and Tua non-believers who want to have rational conversations about this. I mean, there's Tua non-believers and there's Tua believers. You're not going to move them on the spectrum, but they'll listen to you and they'll have conversations with you like draft season. I've had people up there where I don't agree with their draft evaluations, but we still have conversations about it.
100%. 100%.
But Reason, what do you say to the person in chat that claims that EM's been paying for Tua haters to come up on the panels?
I blocked this guy.
What was that?
Did you see that reason?
I blocked him tonight. I blocked that guy tonight, bro.
Oh, okay, good. You hear that? You idiot. You hear that? We got a block party going on, goddammit. It's a block party.
Me and Martin were up there critiquing the film.
I was just going to say, if you're paying...
Yeah, somebody came in and said something to you, Reason. What was that?
Hold on, Crypto. If you're paying people to bash Tua on your panel,
bro,
bro, you're getting ripped, bro. I will do it for a complete discount, totally free.
Bro, you know why that guy? I'm telling you. Why?
It's a block party, goddammit.
This is what. Remember, we go back to what Lewis and you and EM. Remember, I don't know if Cap was up on that show, but that CB83 show where you're talking about the film evaluations and shit. Well, what were we doing? That guy's obviously a 2 and or whatever. Bro, we were just critiquing the film.
100%.
It was mediocre, bro. And we were pointing out a lot of throws that he missed and reads that he missed and stuff. There was a handful of bad throws and on top of a handful of bad decisions. and we were calling it out like it was, and this guy was basically trying to spin that we were bashing to it. And I'm like, bro, I'm just telling you what the film's telling us. I don't know what you want me to say, bro. I got 47 plays I got to get through here. Like, I don't got time for you. Gone, right?
Yeah,
You're
it's a
benched,
lot.
bro. Like, goodbye.
So
So
here he is now finding more ways to be to white knight for
everyone
Tua
hates
on.
Tua. Everyone hates Tua.
I
bro.
got you. And that seems to be the weird conundrum that happens. What's up, Ian?
Even the guys who have supported Tua since day one, they're the biggest Tua haters. You go figure that one out.
Reason you see our buddy, our old friend Terrence from Larry's show in the chat. You see him trolling. That's our good buddy right there.
Oh, I don't know who that is. I don't waste my time and think about irrelevant people.
You hear that, Terrence? You're insignificant. Did you hear that?
Damn. I don't know.
Did you hear that, Terrence?
That's crazy.
And we were supposed to have a peace treaty in place, bro. All right, it's cool.
Yeah, EM, you were nigging on the peace treaty, goddammit.
Oh, so Reason, I'm glad we got you up here, bro. I got a question for you, my friend. We hadn't had a chance to talk privately after we talked earlier, but we hadn't a chance to talk after Hard Knocks. I think we talked earlier, maybe not, but so there seems to be an opinion of the show tonight, right? Yeah. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Cap, Lewis, Color. We were in a very spirited debate for the better part of the show for about 2 hours, right? About there seems to be a narrative that Lewis, Color, maybe Color to a lesser degree, but Cap subscribed to that. There was an agenda in place tonight to kind of shield the offense, shield Mike McDaniel, shield Tua, right?
Can I be honest with you, bro? I
thought
thought to myself while I was watching it. I thought to myself while I was watching it, why do we see Tyreek's drop, but we don't see one of Tua's interceptions?
I'm fucking
same thing. Same thing
I
said.
I see the
Same thing
drop.
I said.
I actually did think that. I did because honestly, bro, I wanted to see the reaction after the first pick.
Yes.
Right? But then I wanted them to show the
see what
second
the
pick.
interaction was.
That second pick was tipped by Queen, right? Patrick Queen got a finger on her, whatever.
He got a little finger on it, yeah.
But I wanted to see the reaction on the sideline. I wanted to see the reaction on the sideline for Tyreek's drop and for Tua's first pick.
All of that is fine. I agree with that, right? But again, don't listen. Don't the roller skate rink is closed right now. They close at 10 o'clock. So y'all need to take them skates off, right? Just because Reason up here. So at the end of the day, I want to address the agenda that y'all were trying to sell earlier, right?
That's what we said. That's exactly what we said.
Do you feel like from what you saw tonight, Reason, do you think there was a shielding of Tua or shielding of Mike McDaniel? There was how can I put it? Hard Knocks had an agenda in place not to paint the offense or Tua in any negative light on this show. I do agree with that, right? I do agree, right? There's always a PR game played.
The full discussion was always about why did they do that?
I'm going to get to that. I agree with you. There wasn't
this sprinkling on all this.
I'm not. I'm trying to keep it real, bro. Listen, I agree with y'all.
Right now.
There's always, when you talk about PR, there's always an agenda in place. But where we part ways is to why y'all think it was all about coddling Tua and the offense, right?
Never said that.
Even to the point of
say that once,
Reason.
EM.
This what was said tonight. That McDaniel was purposely to cover his own ass, to cover his own offense, to cover his own quarterback. They was even spinning it to say that Hard Knocks was, McDaniel intentionally threw Vic Fangio under the bus in this episode. What are your thoughts on that, my friend?
Where was he thrown under the bus? Where was he thrown under the bus?
Exactly my point.
Well, again.
Why? Because we finally saw him in front of the camera?
My only question reason was...
It was weird, though, right? Him in the camera?
We saw the fumble from Cecilier. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out how we got from 28 points to 56 without the offense even taking the field. That's all I'm trying to figure out. If I'm a casual watcher of Hard Knocks, you know what I mean?
But also, it was a lot of filler in the beginning. It was the weirdest episode they had, and it felt like the episode told a different tale. That's it.
Can we please get back on topic, please? I asked him a question. I just want to know his thoughts. Can we please remain on topic here?
Okay, so
Please.
what am I answering? What's at the end of that?
My question to you is, certain individuals on this panel tonight, right? Color to a lesser degree, but mainly Cap and Lou.
Well, I think there was some tinfoil hat conspiracy PR game at play to mask McDaniel and
throw Vic Fangio under the bus.
Well, I don't see the Fangio under the bus. The only thing that it did while I was watching it, I honestly did think, because I finished watching it probably about 20 minutes before I hopped up here, and I honestly did think to myself, why aren't I seeing the picks? Like I legitimate, but I don't know could that be time constraints? Could that be editing? I don't know. Like I'm not in NFL film.
And the reason what EM is not telling you, I also came out here and said, to your point, I also said Tua threw an absolute dime in between double coverage to Chase Claypool. During the game, Chase Claypool dropped the pass. He grabs the ball. He slams it down in frustration, right? Yeah. I wanted to see that.
Yeah, you didn't show that either.
Tua.
I didn't say you didn't. I was only primarily addressing this Vic Fangio narrative.
I know you talked about this. I don't know if Lewis talked about this. I don't know if we talked about this, but I know you talked about this, that, bro, the holding of the heads. Like I noticed it on the All-22, obviously. You saw linemen, Cedric Wilson, everyone was holding their heads when Tyreek dropped. And then when you saw that sideline, holy shit, that really did deflate the team, eh? Like, but I feel like that deflated the team, and then that first pick might have been the backbreaker. I wanted to see at least the first pick reaction.
That one was, their body language was very different. I was in the stadium. I was at that game.
Yeah, I wanted to.
The body language changed.
I had to see that. Well, that at least makes good TV. I don't know why you cut
and
that
was
out.
my particular
contention.
Where I separated with Cap and Lewis is that I just thought there was some kind of reaction on offense that they didn't want us to see.
Hey, can someone let Costa Nostra know that I was on YouTube long before Big O shifted his channel to YouTube, and same as with Omar and Poupar? Thank you very much. And Poupar was one of my first guests in like 2020.
And didn't you have Big O on the show before? Didn't he come on your show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
What the fuck? See what I mean by these idiots? See what I mean?
But he's running like he's some
see what I mean?
Cuban coke dealer, like with this name out here. What's going on, bro? Damn, who's this guy? It's probably some white guy with, like some Caucasian dude with white hair, goatee,
living in his mama's basement.
Yeah,
living in his mama's basement.
$50 a night.
Mama's basement.
You can rent it by the hour. Motel room with the hookers next door, bro. I don't know.
No, Ronnie and Hard Knocks was really not that. It actually was a really good show, bro. It wasn't bad.
Was tough, though. I'll tell you, man, that was tough to get through that game. I'll get holy fuck, especially after
I don't know how you did it, bro. I watched it back and was gonna do one, and I was like, I can't.
No, not even that. I'm not talking about the Hard Knocks. The Hard Knocks was just as tough to get through. I thought at least they edited it and stuff, and they had some music and make it exciting. It was tough.
But the real opinion we need though is, what do you think about Liv Schreiber sounding like the freaking NFL Films guy, bro?
Fantastic.
Like, how does he do that shit?
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's found his calling, I think.
I think he's definitely got bread.
He's the next Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you saw what I witnessed as well. It was the first time ever watching Hard Knocks, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then, and like in the beginning, it was just a weird kind of puff PC thing. We knew how it was going to end. We Dolphins fans saw the game. We saw everybody have their failures in the game that brought us to a loss. And then when we watched this thing, I thought they were kind of building it up for like, they kind of were happy-go-lucky, and I thought maybe they were going to build it up for that failure, and then we could see how the guys handle that and react, and then it was going to set up for another episode for like a redemption story type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, they left me worried, bro. Like these guys were on the verge of crying over Chubb, and these are like my final image. But I got to point out two things, and I'll talk about it on the show tomorrow, but two things that stood out to me. One, the safeties dinner. Because I remember people in my chat, Fangio's trash, this defense is trash. And then Javon Holland says, we saw all these people out here saying
Yeah.
I just needed to understand it. And I'm like, oh, damn. And then the other thing was, I'm going to say that was one of the most insightful segments, but one of the worst segments for the 2-1 read and doesn't read defenses narrative crew when they showed the helmet cam thing. That was pretty sweet.
Like
that
the
was
helmet cam bit.
So speaking of, I'm glad you brought that up, Reason. Like, do you remember the individual or individuals that was trying to sell that narrative based off when the Dolphins made that public about how they were losing a helmet cam in practice? Do you remember who those individuals were or individual?
A lot of individuals did that on all platforms.
Oh, okay. You know, we don't wear gloves here. We don't wear gloves.
Well, I'll say this, bro. Even with the fire McDaniel and fire 2 and fire Fangio crew this week, it's been way more on X than I've seen it on or Twitter than I've seen on YouTube. It's been a cesspool on Twitter for firing these guys and drafting. Like, listen, you won't find a bigger fan of Drake May and Michael Penix. I'd take them both over Caleb Williams, but there ain't no guarantee.
You can thank John Christolakis for that, man.
Well, you can't guarantee me nothing that those guys are going to throw for. Who's going to flirt with 4,700 yards, and it could have been around 5,000 if we didn't bench him in blowouts. You can't guarantee me those stats from any of those guys. And we'd have to move heaven and earth to go up and get one of those guys.
But what I was told is that
fantasy
what I was told was that numbers don't matter, though, right? And I heard that I distinctly remember somebody two individuals up on this platform said that numbers do not matter.
Well, it's like the whole winning thing is.
Don't get quiet now, fellas.
That's cap right there.
I need them toes, gentlemen. I need them toes, right? Take them skates off.
Look at this.
That's cap. That's cap right there.
The whole wins aren't a quarterback stat is kind of actually yes and no. They are like first 3 years. Are they really a quarterback stat? You're holding to them? No, because you're trying to figure out if this guy's the franchise. Once you start getting to year 5, even into year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, I mean, especially when you get to year 10, how many times would we see Brady's win-loss record come up against us alone when we're facing him in year 10? I mean, once you get into wins do eventually become a quarterback stat, but I can agree early on they're not. I mean, all these narratives are so subjective to an extent, right?
What I don't like is the quarterback win-loss narrative, how enough time has gone by, and now that Tua is way better than he was before, we're just supposed to ignore the fact that not all of us were in agreement about crediting all those wins to him early on. You see what I'm saying? Now we're just supposed to accept that as fact. Like Tua's record is this and that. It's like, no, I distinctly remember Xavier Howard literally winning a game for us against New England. You know what I mean?
First game.
And I'm like crazy for thinking
Joe
that,
Burrow rode the coattails of a really good defense to the Super Bowl, but everyone gives Joe Burrow, a guy who couldn't even ID hots and was getting blown up from sacks that weren't online.
And I might agree with you that.
But everyone gives Burrow the credit for the run.
But Burrow, I might agree with you there because I'm not a whataboutism kind of guy. The fallacy for a whataboutism is all you're telling me is there's two guys that have that problem. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll say this.
Joe,
this out.
Where's the pushback on Joe Burrow?
Tua with Flores had a 63.6 winning percentage. Tua with Mike has like a 66.6 winning percentage. So he's actually an over 63% winner. It don't matter whether it's Flores and you got to win by defense or it's Mike and you got to win with
That's fair over enough sample size. You're right. I would agree.
Like his record with Hill. Everyone wants to say he's Hill. Well, guess what? Yeah, with Hill, he's 18-10, but without Hill, he's 15-8. So he's got a 65% win percentage with Hill and without Hill. Tua has the best. I want you to understand. Tua's played 51 games. He has the best win percentage of any quarterback. His win percentage is 4% higher than Marino, 5% higher than Greasy. It's almost 20% higher than Tannehill. And then if you were to take every other quarterback who's worn our jersey and combine them, it's about 17% higher than all of them combined.
What is it total right now? I don't have the number off the top of my head.
It's about 60. It's 65.4%.
Why is it so quiet up?
What's the win-loss record?
Because I'm listening. I'm not going to interrupt
33 and
him.
18.
See, that's enough right there for me. Where I don't care
That's
if
an
a
over
couple
50
of
game
those
game. That's an over
hold
50
on, let
game.
me say it. Let me.
I ain't gonna lie. EM is funny than the motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But that's how he funny. He funny. He real funny.
Yeah,
Why
he
is
is.
it so goddamn
It's just
quiet
a
up
game.
here now?
He's pointing out the winning percentage. He's not saying it's a better quarterback. Stop.
Oh, I got a
One could
headache, bro.
argue that numbers aren't
Can I finish
reflective
what I was
of
saying,
the
please?
actual scenario.
finish
If
what
you
I was
have
saying?
in percentages and everything to that degree, I don't understand where we're going with it exactly.
Well, Flores and the whole thing was
I
about.
wanted
We're
to
talking
finish
about
what I was
Mike.
saying,
They're
please.
different scenarios, right?
At
We were talking about him.
33
We're talking about wins based on the defense. So I'm saying if you look at wins based on the defensive performances and wins based on the offensive performances,
If I can
they're both
clarify
over
what I was
63%.
saying, I would love to do
Insane.
that. I was saying at 33 and 18, that's enough for me where it's like, okay, if a couple of those wins were defensive, I don't care. 33 and 18 is a large enough sample size. I gave credit for Garoppolo when he was 45 and 16. That's not much different, 33 and 18. You see what I'm saying? That's enough for me to where I'll agree with you. A couple of those wins might have been defensive, but when you're talking about 33 and 18, yeah, you're gonna have to credit to that to the quarterback. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, and like I see, because I even get the argument about the Garoppolo record, and I'm not even talking about you, but if someone brought that up, I would say to them, well, the difference between Garoppolo and Tua is 2 years in a row now. Tua's been in the MVP conversation. Garoppolo never sniffed
the only
it, right?
reason the only reason I ever brought up Garoppolo's 45 and 16 is because simply the people that have to use it, what about it?
Well, no, you're not wrong.
They're like, what about Garoppolo? And it's like, well, what about him?
Let
He's
me tell you.
45 and 16.
Let me tell you. Brock Purdy, but he has a very small sample size. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar, Garoppolo, and Hurts are the only quarterbacks in the NFL with a better career win percentage right now than Tua Tagovailoa. And remember, Hurts joined a 9 and 17, right? Burrow, Herbert,
Garoppolo. What I'm saying is,
they were 9 and 7. Yeah, Hurts.
What about is, and by bringing up Garoppolo, it is incumbent upon me to bring up his record at the time.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I brought his record up. When I've talked about these facts before, I finished it off with saying Purdy, Mahomes, Lamar, Garoppolo, and Hurts are the only quarterbacks that have better win percentages in the NFL right now. That's what I say.
But in my
because
case,
my whole thing is you got to replace the win. You got to replace the 65%. No. I'm just talking. No. Listen, bro. No, you don't have to get defensive. I'm just.
No. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm saying in the past people put that on me.
Oh no.
They'll bring him up
this
first
all goes
and
back
then
to our
claim that
original
I'm making a
conversation, right?
whataboutism.
This all goes back to what this originally started with when we talked about these idiots out here are saying fire McDaniel, get rid of Tua. So my whole thing is we talked about the stats, right? About the 4,700 yards after the Buffalo game. Well, now I'm saying, okay, you got to replace almost 5,000 yards, but now you got to replace the 65% win percentage. It's not just the stats. You got to replace the win percentage too. Right? I need a guy who's going to win over 65% of his games because listen, this is one playoffs, but if you give him 4 or 5 playoffs, I guarantee you that 65% win percentage will translate into playoff runs. That's just probably the organic growth of it.
Hold on, Color. Let me jump in here real quick.
Turn up, goddammit.
We haven't seen it yet.
Turn up, Reason. Turn up, goddammit.
At this juncture, there's no insert other option.
You a mess.
Yeah, but we were talking about X, right? People are talking about that shit on X.
Yeah,
like you could just draft him, like draft a
it's
guy,
just
bro.
a cesspool,
Like it's ridiculous.
It is what it is. And we like to dance.
Well, bro, I hate to call out your boy Esteban, but remember Esteban EM? He was out here telling everyone, draft Kenny Pickett. Draft Kenny Pickett.
He was doing it tonight. He was doing it tonight.
He was
doing it again today.
Draft Kenny Pickett. Could you guys, boys up here, now that you've seen Kenny Pickett, remember how bad of an idea I said that was? Could you imagine if we were stuck with Kenny Pickett right now? We'd be Bud Dwyering ourselves. If you guys remember who that is, we'd be Bud Dwyering ourselves on YouTube right now, putting a Colt 40 in our mouth, just pulling the trigger, bro. Unbelievable.
That's the politician, right?
Yeah, who killed himself.
I know that video. That was fucking graphic as fuck.
That's what we'd be doing if we had Kenny Pickett right now.
Listen, nobody wants Kenny Pickett, and nobody.
All that says reason is that Mike Tomlin is light years ahead of Mike McDaniel.
Oh,
not really, because hasn't he been using Trubisky?
Because he has a winning record with him.
No, Mason Rudolph.
Oh, Mason Rudolph. My
Yeah,
apologies.
that's right. It was Rudolph.
They've been leaning on Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, not even Kenny Pickett.
Hey, Mason Rudolph been playing some good football the last 3 weeks.
He always gets 1 or 2 games a year in, it seems like, that are good, and then he goes back to being a doofus.
Buddy, McDaniel got us into the playoffs with Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, he squeezes a lot out of players you don't think about.
Skylar. Oh, be careful, Reason. Tread lightly now.
Yeah,
Skylar.
On what?
That Skylar Thompson topic.
Skylar Thompson
we at the gate now. That's a very, very delicate conversation, right? Topic to bring up.
He's quarterback 3. There's nothing to hang your heart on. That's like the same people who hang their heart on all these other players because Jerome Baker loves his mama, so he's an all-pro in their eyes. What's there to love about Skylar Thompson right now?
Jerome Baker getting sniped in the conversation.
No, but like if you look at Jerome Baker is an above average to good player, but there's people in this fan base. I remember when he signed his extension, people were comparing him to Fred Warner. I was like, y'all people are nuts.
Fred fucking Warner.
The only tweet I ever turned the comments off I've ever put out because people were actually in my comments comparing him to Fred Warner. I was like, you people are so delusional because you get caught up on these players and the person, and you can't separate the play from the person. There's players that are like that. Listen, we can all agree Christian Wilkins is great. 24+ million. Where did you see that on? Let me know if you saw that in Baltimore because I'm still waiting for it to go up and get off the bus. I love Christian Wilkins. I love Christian Wilkins. But anyone who says they'll pay,
I'm not paying no 24
exactly.
million.
You know why? Because you're realistic, bro. No defensive lineman in the NFL not named Aaron Donald in his prime is worth 24+ million. Stop.
That ain't no bullshit. And
Chris Jones
go around crowing for Christian Wilkins.
I wouldn't even pay Chris Jones that, bro.
I love the guy too.
Yeah, but I think they just gave him a big fat contract.
Yeah, he makes like 21. He makes like 21.
Right.
It's gonna destroy your cap, bro. If you
pay
him
it's not worth it.
Million.
We got 2 of
and then look at the production you're getting off. The production you're getting off Siler right now for half the cost.
Fucking bro, it's the easiest deduction I could ever see mathematically handed over for people to say, here's one getting this production. Here's what you want to pay the other. Literally double for multiple years. It's the dumbest conversation I could ever, and really it goes to what, kind of is the
but you got people on Dolphins talk to Lewis' point that'll try and crucify you, right? Because we got to sign every single person on this team. We're not allowed to make business decisions or hypothetically make business decisions as content creators, analysts, media, whatever you want to call us. We're not allowed to go down that route because these people, we got to sign everyone. Everything's got to be blow rainbow. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I said this. People ask me, Reason, what if we don't win a playoff game? I said, that's when you're going to see me lose it.
Exactly.
Because that's when they have not met my expectations. Listen, I expected them to be 14-3 and win the division. Winning the division in the 2 seed is still here. This could be the first 12-win team we've seen since 1990. All right. So listen, they have not, until they lose that playoff game, that first playoff game, they have not fallen short of my expectations. If they are 1 and done in the playoffs and they lose to Buffalo, yeah, I'm not going to be a happy camper.
Me neither.
But we haven't let the season play out yet. You can't jump to conclusions. All these people who are ready to jump off bridge. What if we go out and we win this week? Now what do you look like?
Reason ain't got no worries saying other names. I'm just gonna follow suit. I heard this guy on this channel called Finside the NFL.
Yeah,
man, this dude was roasting Mike McDaniel, and I'm like, he's in my head, man.
Oh, you're talking about
his
after
name was
the
Reed.
loss.
Was that you, Reed?
After the loss.
Yeah, because bro, listen.
No, I just had to. It was something I had. It's a sidebar.
Dude, no one wanted Mike McDaniel, bro. When we
I
hired,
swear to God, I thought you were using my own mouth, man.
Bro. When we hired Godsey in Stoodsville, I said I want either Pep Hamilton or Mike McDaniel as our OC. No one's wanted Mike McDaniel in this franchise for longer than me, publicly at least. But I can still call it. You're flawed situationally. You're flawed situationally. You don't commit to the run game enough inside the 10 yard, inside 10 yards. And your clock management is shit.
I actually believe that the second interception Sunday was on McDaniel.
Yeah,
I haven't heard nobody else say that, bro. I haven't heard nobody else say that.
Pull this comment up in the chat real quick. This Findicate guy, right? Look at that comment.
What? How come you say that about people and their feelings for Baker, but can't say that about people and their feelings with Tua? What do you mean? I don't care if you don't like. Listen, I already told you I'm down for if you want to have conversations with Tua non-believers. I'm down. It's the people. We brought up the spot throwing narrative. I had JT O'Sullivan come up on my show and say, if you can't throw to a spot in the NFL, you're not going to be in the NFL for very long. You're taught to throw to spots from Pee-wee. It's these misinformed narratives that, let's be honest, are guided, all traced back to 2019, and it's all about me and EM being wrong. That's what all this division, all these narratives come down to. It's me and EM being wrong. Goalposts have been moved so many times on the other side. Well, quite frankly, I know I did put my head down, stuck to the film, and I've let it play out the last 2 years, and you've seen MVP level play. I don't know what else to tell you. And guess what? It's only the second year in this offense. You know what we're going to be for McDaniel and to what me and him had this conversation? You know where we're going to be in year 4, year 5? Now I get it. We want to win right now. I understand that. But year 4, year 5, you're not going to need Tyreek because Tua's going to be developing against guys. And for people who say Tua doesn't develop guys or raise guys up, how many of you want us to resign Gesicki? How many of us you were butthurt when we lost Lynn Bowden? What are these guys doing right now? Gesicki's not sniffing what he did with Tua.
I actually thought Gesicki was the poison in the locker room, but that was my opinion.
Yeah, but look at when guys went down and Preston and Devontae went down, Tua rose Gesicki to the occasion. Same with a guy like Lynn Bowden. Where's Lynn Bowden right now? He's a gadget player on a practice squad now. All these guys. Remember how many people loved what's his face? The kid from Navy.
Oh,
Malcolm Perry. Remember, I love Malcolm Perry.
Not gonna lie, I fell hook, line, and sinker for the Lynn Bowden Jr.
I think he only scored one touchdown in our uniform.
I fell hook, line, and sinker for the Lynn Bowden Jr.
With Tua, Bowden was a good possession receiver.
Good as fuck. I was like,
but
man,
that's with Tua.
This guy
I'm starting to think Dokes is hanging out wherever Oates is from Hall and Oates, man. Like you can't find Oates and you can't find Dokes, man.
So
and you can answer the Vindicate.
To that point, Color, he's been found.
You can critique and criticize Tua all you want. Watch my film breakdowns. I critique him and criticize him during my film breakdowns. But it's when you spit misinformed narratives to try and push an agenda that has something else behind it, that's when I can't get behind. And there's multiple people, not just one, who have that in this. There's some people who just don't like Tua and haven't since the Alabama days, and they just don't want to be about it. They don't want to be wrong about it. They don't want to be, bro. Come on, talk about Pete. Look at how anti-Tua he is, and he's the last person anyone should be listening. He told us, remember, he told us Cam Newton was going to be the best quarterback in the AFC East when he came. He told us we needed to trade for Jameis Winston. He said
Josh Rosen was the franchise quarterback.
Was the franchise. What's he doing right now? Right
now, wait a minute.
I'm just saying.
He also said that forcing the ball to Tyreek was going to cost us a game or two.
Yeah, but okay, see, this is I'm gonna address this narrative because I'm putting something together that's actually probably gonna drop on X. If you look at it with Tyreek and his target share going up this year, if you really watch the film, it's actually because it's a multitude of things, but it really comes down to two things: footwork and route running. If you look at what he's become in this offense this year, the route running from Tyreek has found another level. You see him using the stab steps. You see him using the shoulder shakes and Euro steps a little bit more. You see him stemming his routes a little differently. And you just overall see routes being ran better and effectively. His footwork, his off the line, his releases, he's getting open a lot. And that's the issue. What are you going to do? Look off an open guy? Right? That's why the ball's getting thrown, because now it's his second. He kind of talked about this too, right? He said, year one, I kind of relied on my athleticism. Year two, I understand the route concepts a lot better. I know everything, right? And understanding the stuff he was doing with Nick Hicks and all that kind of jazz, he's just more acclimated, and he's getting, because we're seeing a more refined Tyreek. Now the hands are something to talk about in crucial moments.
That would be also credit to Wes Walker.
Yeah, but we're just seeing a more refined Tyreek Hill right now, because he worked with He worked with Waddle's foot guy in the offseason. He worked with Nick Hicks.
What you're saying, you know?
No,
what I mean?
I'm just saying, like, no, I'm just saying, like, because I thought
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And then I started watching I was, because that narrative started like weeks ago, right? So when I heard that, I was like, okay, you know what? I understand the target share. So I said, let's dive into this. And that's the one thing I noticed was I really saw a massive leap in route running and footwork and his releases off the line of scrimmage, and he's just getting open more. And yeah, he's going to be the number one or number two read.
Most people just tell Pete he's an idiot. They don't actually tell them why. They don't give a reason why.
But Pete still wouldn't listen to me, right? He still wouldn't listen to me. He still wouldn't listen to me. And the problem,
but others would.
Well, yeah,
they might believe him, you know.
And you got to think about this too, right? The reason why he's going to be the 1 or 2 read, the number 1 or number 2 read, is because that route develops so fast. You can't come to that at 3 or 4; it'll be gone. It's got to be 1 or 2. It has to be. If it's 3 or 4, it's gone. He's so fast, it's gone. You won't be able to. It's got to be 1 or 2. But when you look at it and you break down the analytics, only 6 quarterbacks in the NFL throw to their first read less than Tua. Tua throws to his first read, 7th least in the NFL. But he has the 2nd highest EPA off his first read, only behind Brock Purdy.
And now we're kind of rounding about to where I statement about Mike McDaniel being responsible for the 2nd interception. I mean, look, it's obvious.
I blame the first one on him too. Why are we rushing, Color?
But here's the thing.
Why are you rushing?
There's obviously times, no matter who your quarterback is. It could be Dan Marino. There are times when a play is just meant to be run this way no matter what, because that's what the coach is feeling. We do this, we can gain yardage, right? And there's no off script, there's no nothing. And that's where you'll see if it fails, a lot of times the quarterback will dirt the ball or take a sack or whatever immediately. My point is that play, if you look at the whole design of the play, we've got 2 wide receivers going into arguably, dime blitz coverage. I mean, there was like everybody in the secondary was in black and purple. So we send 2 receivers into that. Meanwhile, we got a running back sitting out in the flat twiddling his thumbs. But Tua took a step, a 1.5, 2-step drop and fired it right across the middle.
Yeah.
That was the design of the play.
And he had Julian Hill. He chipped and leaked out, and he was wide open underneath because the coverage went with it.
If that was designed, then to me, that's a bad design play, because even if you're designing an immediate pass like that, what are you doing it with 9 guys for? Why you can't use those other 2 guys for some disruption in the middle or something? Like,
hey, real quick. Reason Nate Nene is in the chat.
I want to say first, Color on that play. He had, I think it was Julian Hill. He chipped and leaked out, and because the coverage, I think that was another one of those plays where McDaniel and Tua were talking about. You got to take what the defense gives you, because it felt like he forced it. Because this is what I've talked about.
And I understand there's times like that. There are plays like that.
This is what happens with Tua. This whole Tua choking narrative is very fixable. Tua doesn't choke. What happens with Tua is, he all of a sudden, you saw it in the Bengals game last year after the drop, he all of a sudden gets the need to make a big, I've got these weapons, I got to force the big play, instead of just taking what the defense gives you, possess the ball, get points,
are you saying that should have been a more relaxed play?
Color, that first interception, it's the coach. Why are we rushing to the line when the 2-minute warning's coming up? You're trying to get points and not leave any time on the clock. We're moving like we want to leave 1:30 on the clock, but score a touchdown. Fucking take the 2-minute warning, go to the sideline, regroup, get your play call, and then go out. What happened? You've rushed to his order of operations. He's one of the best pre-snap processors in the NFL. You basically took that away from him. He locked in on Cedric when he had Smythe wide open up the seam, where if he wouldn't have felt rushed and he would have looked at the coverage and processed it, he would have banged, okay, I'm going to have this seam shot, which he had been eating them on the last couple of weeks, because I've been screaming since Zach Ertz got released. Get me a tight end that can threaten the seams. That's the missing third element of this offense. But I digress. That first interception should have never happened. We were rushing it. Why are you rushing it? What?
Well, I agree with that. In terms of McDaniel's approach to that particular play, he should have let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning. But I'm gonna be very clear. At the end of the day,
got to make the throw and read.
Yeah, you still got to execute. Real quick, reason I want to do because Nene's in the chat. She addressed you earlier. I would jump in, but she addressed you directly, right?
Yeah.
She said, where is it at?
Is
Let
this
me pull it
about
up real
Flores?
quick.
It better not be about Flores.
No. It's about Tua and Audibling. Okay.
Oh, Nene is cool.
So pull that.
He does. He
okay.
does. He does.
So you kind of want to touch on that for her?
This. Yeah, but okay, he talked about this. Remember, we know of 3 plays that he changed at the line of scrimmage, and was it all 3 of them or 2 of them turned to long touchdowns to Tyreek?
Mm-hmm.
But these have been talked about in post games where
2 different games.
That was in the Giants game. That was the Giants game.
There's 3 they've identified publicly, and 2 of them were deep shots for touchdowns to Tyreek. I know that for a fact.
And the other one was the Dallas game where he checked into that screen.
So
to me, that was a remedy for the most.
I'm kind of wondering because I agree with I agree with what you said about this sense of urgency and it taking away from what the Dolphins offense does best, and that's that fluidity that we see when they're doing things right and moving at a good clip. I wonder. We've seen Tua do it, but I've also seen Tua kind of simmer down in it as well. Is Mike McDaniel's anxiety? I'm looking at the game, like the actual live feed. Is Mike McDaniel changing his game plan up mid-game rather than sticking to what works? Now, I get there's things that aren't working, but like going rather than taking what the defense gives you, he's dialing up plays to try to make up for lost time. Which also exacerbates
McDaniel's
the
biggest
thing.
problem, Cap. He outthinks himself.
That's exactly what it's the long way of saying that. Is
but listen though,
and it's almost like, it's almost like a perfect storm of problems. You have Mike McDaniel that outthinks himself, and it rushes to push too hard, and it creates a bad thing.
Okay, this is perfect, EM, because we've talked about this going back to 2019. One of the issues me and EM actually publicly stated about Tua going back to Alabama was you could see it early on. It's great to have a coach's quarterback, a quarterback friendly, like a coach friendly quarterback. The problem is Tua will stick to the script to a T, unless it's those moments where they talked about publicly where McDaniel said, yo, call whatever you want. Unless it's that, it's coach, what do you want me to run? And he will, even if he knows it's not going to work. We saw at Alabama where he would run stuff and we saw it early on in his career in Miami where he even talked about it, right? He's talking about under Gailey and other coordinators where he walked the line and knew things wouldn't go to work, but he ran it anyways. Because you know what, boys? That's what his dad ingrained into him. To be the ultimate, I saw someone call him a robot in the chat. They're actually kind of right.
A servant, bro.
Yeah, but that's what they kind of made him.
So wait, now we've seen this.
I didn't mean servant in a bad way. I meant like serving mankind.
No,
I'm here to serve.
But look at how many good plays he does off script how many great Waddle touchdowns have we seen for Tua off script? It's not like he can't make them. It's like he's just okay, I got to stick to the pocket and stick to the play.
100%.
What I've consistently said about McDaniel's play calling is that he's got this set of plays that he knows for himself works no matter what. Yeah. And instead of paying attention to what the defense is doing, it's like if you had a 45 and you're like, I can shoot, I can make things dance with this 45, but then somebody rolls up with an armored tank and you're still like, no, I can hit that bullseye. It don't matter. And it's like he's not thinking about
Tom Hanks and Saving Private Ryan. What do you mean, bro?
He's just picking plays and saying this should work. This should work. This should work. You know.
Yeah.
So I wonder, is Mike McDaniel and Tua gonna realize this? I think Tua can ad-lib it. Is it something they need to put into practice? Is it something that they need to practice, like breakdown drills?
You know what I'd be doing, bro? Give them the 2-minute drills. Say, because you know what that shows me, even though it's only 3 plays. I would like to see a bigger sample size known to us publicly. But I think we've known this since the end of last year, and then in this year especially. No one knows the playbook on that offense better than Tua, right? You had guys coming to him last year, and now it's this year. I think he knows the playbook so well where you can trust him to I think I mean I
call
think
his own plays from
yeah,
inside
you're,
the huddle
year
at times.
two.
But
bro, I think they got a tighter bond than
we gotta
Tyreek
get
and Tua,
Tua to
right?
be comfortable with it too, because we've just gone through the facts that you
Bro,
know
you got to teach it out to him.
that's the thing.
When it's ingrained into you, when it's like this. When it's ingrained into you, there's two things you can use in this. What that's ingrained into you since you were a child by your father. Another thing is like your internal clock, right? Like early bad quarterbacks suffer from bad offensive lines because bad offensive lines will speed up their internal clock or just make them see ghosts. You don't want either, right? Because you'll miss reads, miss progressions if you speed up your clock. Obviously, you'll get stuck holding onto the ball if you see ghosts and you'll take sacks. So, you know, there's stuff that can get ingrained in you and become bad habits, right? Internal clock sped up. And this is you know, you want a guy to be a little, and you've seen McDaniel's clearly tried to get him more loose, but look at Flores. Boys, what was Flores like? No, stick to what I want to do. Do not go off what I want to do. Stick to what we want to do. Boys, remember the Tennessee game? I always bring this up. Now, I know it's painful. Remember the win, get in game. Boys, Duke Johnson, we can now look back at it. Emotions are away from everyone. We can all look back and agree. Duke Johnson was the only one who got off the bus and was basically screaming through his play, feed me the ball, feed me the ball. Tennessee.
That's all we had to do to win that game.
Well, yeah, but you look at Tennessee, right? Tannehill, they started testing the sticks and beyond the sticks early on. Wasn't working because of the weather. What did they go? Run the ball. Everything was play action after that, right? And in front of the sticks or to the sticks, the farthest. We stuck to the same game plan. Didn't adjust, and we got beat while Vrabel adjusted to what was happening in the game flow, and we got our ass handed to us. And it's you see McDaniel and Fangio fall for that too. Look at Fangio. I mean, we've seen him adjust where, guys, Ramsey probably should have been shadowing, even with X back after the effort we saw against CeeDee Lamb up against him. Terry McLaurin got erased. Garrett Wilson got erased. I mean, but boys, I'll tell you right here, right now, I've heard, and I've said this publicly before, you know, I've heard Fangio's not very open to players coming to him and suggesting that kind of stuff. Very old school, very stubborn.
Yeah, he is old school in that way. I'm just hoping now with X going to miss time that he's not going to play that game the last game of the year and try to figure out a way.
Who's got Gabe Davis? You put Diggs on an island with Ramsey, but who's got Gabe Davis, man?
I got you, especially because Gabe Davis
he's more than serviceable. Gabe Davis, he's shown to get you 200 yards in a game before.
Well, remember Isaiah McKenzie used to cook us when we used to take away Stephon Diggs, right?
Dude. Florida boy.
Remember that year where Nina was one of the best. Remember that year where Nina was one of the best slot corners, and he ended up getting cooked by Isaiah McKenzie that game when we faced them.
This is the issue I've been having with our offense because it's the same as I said the week leading up to the Ravens game. The best defense right now against these teams for us has been offense. We have to match the scores. Right, that's all there is to it.
Yeah. It's not a wrong take because it's going to keep the pressure off the team, including most importantly the offense. It's when Mike McDaniel starts getting in his bag and getting off script, and then Tua, I think he senses, it's obviously a tense type of situation. You're changing the game plan on the fly. You're trying to make up for being down 2 scores or whatever it is, and I get it. Sometimes this stuff plays out, but I feel like, look no further than that first drive of the game on Sunday. That Alec Ingold pass that he caught in that first drive was such a beautiful underneath thing. It worked out beautifully, and stuff like that, pushing they're dropping everybody back in coverage, linebackers included. Those little bit of things, I get we're trying to make up for lost time, but I feel like you just when you force it, you ask for problems, and it's something I hope that we get corrected in years to come. I expect
you know from the time we were calling the game till now, my biggest take has been the moment we matched their punt, when we finally held their team to a punt in the first half, when the game was still in hand, we answered that with a punt. That is the moment the game was lost. And I maintain that from the moment I saw it happen till now. Everybody can figure out whatever else, defense and mine, this and that. The game was lost when we held them to a punt and answered that with a punt.
Well, because you're talking about in possession
you got to answer
battle.
The score once you force them 3 and out.
We had a chance to take command of that game right then and there.
We didn't capitalize like I hoped we would. That's what we have to do for our
defense to be successful the way it is constructed. That just is the way it's built. We can't be talking about it now in week 17. Like, oh,
you know what I do?
That is our defense.
Martin made a really good point when me and EM were up there, and I talked about it tonight again. Man, listen, I know he's got turf toe, but he looked like our most explosive game changer. I would be game planning around the seams because he's been working the last couple of weeks. Hit him with the seams; they won't expect it. And you got to game plan around Achane. You just he's got to tough this one out, and you got to get the carries. You got to get the ball in his hands, man. Like for example, that wheel route
was nasty.
The one that Wilson dropped. That Tua made the dime throw that Wilson dropped. Remember that wheel route that he. Dude, if that's Achane's catching that football, bro. Like you gotta get Achane in those positions because
loving Achane, man.
Wilson doesn't have quite the speed as
it's
Achane.
Be able to find some positive from that game.
Yeah,
freaking Achane, man.
Yeah, if there was the one positive you could take, Achane is real as fuck.
He had that 130 yards from scrimmage and then went into a walking boot because of his turf toe.
And then look at the catch he makes for the touchdown, bro. Like seriously, we got
Claypool and Tyreek how it's done. Basically,
I know, right? Snatched it hands.
Yeah,
it's gonna be again. These are not all issues that are going to get corrected over 1 week, but I definitely don't foresee them falling in the quicksand on offense that they did this week coming up against Buffalo. This is a must-win circumstance because we can't. Look, we'll still be in the playoffs, and you're not out until you're out. But man, just all the narratives can be destroyed, crushed, and killed all at the same time with a win at home that we should get. And
people are going to push it to the playoff game.
Is erased if we
people
win.
People are just going to push it to the playoff game. I expect that once we win this week, because we are going to win, it's going to get pushed to, okay, well, now we have to win a playoff game. And listen, I agree with it. I want to see a playoff win.
I do too, but the entire Ravens game is erased when we win next week, man.
That's what I mean. That's kind of what I mean.
That should be more wasted than the playoff win against them.
Well, I look at it this way: the playoffs started against Dallas. We're 1-1 in the playoffs, and that Baltimore game needed to be erased once you walked off the field. You got no time to feel sorry for yourself. No woes me. You got to get your shit together, and you got to reset, and you got to go out. And everyone, listen, we can't have what we had a couple years ago, where AVG was the only one who got off the bus. We had DVP drops. I remember Big E. Speaking of Dolphins talk, put out a video and he counted 13 to 14 drops that game. Tua would have had over 500 yards in that game. And then Tua had a bad pick. And we can't have that. Like this team needs to be as on point as they've been all year because it's now put up or shut up time basically.
You talking about the Buffalo finale?
You can't make.
You talking about the Buffalo finale a couple years ago?
The mistakes your opponent makes.
But
that's what it is.
We also can't sell ourselves short. We were highly competitive last year in that playoff game without our star quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
So we cannot sell ourselves short just because we lost a few players on defense and blah blah blah. No, this is the time to. This is it right here, man.
This is
the place that you were supposed to be in last year that Skyler was in, and we couldn't get it done.
Yeah, it's time.
So here we go, Tua.
This is a must-win game because I like our chances to go deep in the playoffs if we're a 2 seed. Because think about it, we're gonna get Baker back. We're gonna get Waddle back. We might get Howard back. And I like.
Don't forget about Mostert too.
Yeah, Mostert's coming back. Raheem the Dream.
Yeah,
and
Raheem
we're
will
gonna
be
probably
back.
get either the Colts, the Steelers, maybe even Buffalo again. Then if we win that game, the Chiefs might have to come to our house. And who knows? Maybe the Browns upset the Ravens. If we lose this game, I don't like our odds in Kansas City.
Yeah. All right, boys. I'm gonna get out of here.
Appreciate you coming through, Reason.
I'm done, boys. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah.
Take it easy, man.
Appreciate you. Appreciate it, man.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah. A lot of listen, we get into the narrative nonsense. Even Reason was like, why the fuck they didn't, why are they putting holes in the story?
I gotta admit, when you heard crickets chirping when he said that,
Ian had nothing to say. He realized he was buried again. Again, reason keeping it objective. That was the whole point. We were just trying to be objective. I saw a weird hole in the story. It's not like I wanted to see it. I don't want to see it. I just found it odd that they weren't showing it, and it's this weird thing that happens. So, I appreciated that. I'm not. It's not about bashing Tua. It's about remaining objective. That's all it was, and it never even was pointed at Tua. It was meant to be pointed at the offense when it would seem to be pointed at the. Look, here goes EM. Look, EM talking from beyond the grave. Look at that.
Crickets.
Talking from beyond the grave. But I appreciate everybody coming up on the panels and stuff like that. Shout out to EM who came up here.
EM.
He got bodied 7,000 or 8,000 times tonight, but he still seems to be alive and kicking from zombie EM. Crypto, thanks for coming. Color, shout out to Lou and Reason popping in. Appreciate Reason coming by and chopping it up with us and continuing to throw the last bit of dirt on top of EM, which was very nice of him to do. It was a beautiful ceremony we had for EM, and shout out to the Miami Dolphins. Let's go beat Buffalo.
EM's getting buried again.
Yep. Well, he'll be back from the dead. He's like the Walking Dead over here.
We got taps for EM somewhere.
Yep, we got it. All right, so hit the like button, subscribe if you guys haven't, and we'll see you guys next time. Fins up.